maybe, but oh my God, like you talk right into this thing. It just sounds so good. It sounds so good.
That's what you want. I mean, for stage, I use Shure SM7Bs. Right?
Oh, there you go. See, Shure in general is just great. An SM58, that's a dynamic. That's the one you hold like this.
Yeah. When you're on stage. Yeah.
See, they probably. The way I even found out that I wanted this mic that bad is I think I was at a Guitar Center and I was doing the test thing where you walk around all the mics and you put the headphones on. And I think I've tried some other Shure ones too. There's one that I used to use when I performed live when I was in a band called Lemon Collies. And it was like, it looks like the Elvis mic. I forget what it's called, but it looks like the Elvis mic. It looks like a 50s mic. And that thing, and I realized when I tested it at the Guitar Center, that's why I bring it up, is because it has like a raw sound to it. Like it almost sounds raw. And that thing is awesome for like live music, I think. But only for that. Like that's the only thing I would want to use it for, because it doesn't really sound that good. But it sounds raw, so it sounds cool live. And I remember I used to use that mic. If anybody is watching this and they know what I'm talking about, please back me up on this, because it's like I can't remember what it's called right now. I could find it if I really tried, but it's a cool looking mic. It's the Elvis looking mic.
Oh, the Elvis style, yeah.
Yeah, if anybody knows what I mean by that, because that's the only descriptor I have is the Elvis mic.
Oh my God.
But yeah, different mics do different things. That's the moral of this story. Like you don't even really realize it until you realize it. You're like, oh my God, this thing has powers.
I don't want this to sound like complaining. I'm so happy to be here, but there was a minute where I didn't know if I liked podcasts, but then I would put on the headphones and hear myself. I'm like, I really like podcasts. So the little conceited part of me is a little sad, but I'll just have to listen to the episode. You know what I mean? Like
it's gonna be hard to be you right now.
Yeah. It's like I can't listen to my own voice. What the hell?
So the problem is, like, I would need a tiny little splitter, and then really it's just the splitter exists, and then I have 2 pairs of headphones. But right now I only have 1 pair of headphones and no splitter, so that's why it doesn't happen. But honestly, I always think of it like 2 things. The headphones are like a double-edged sword, because when you're wearing them, I think like it's kind of cool because you hear yourself, but it also like puts you outside yourself because you hear yourself. So now you're hearing like this version of yourself that's not you that you normally hear, and so it's kind of weird. Because I remember one time I went to somebody's podcast and I was like thrown, because I'm always doing this. So I like put the headphones on. And I was like, whoa, that's like radio me.
That's funny. It's funny that we both had different reactions. We're like, this is not me. This is radio me. And I'm like, this is who I am. This is how the world hears me.
Yeah. But the real thing, the second thing I was going to say is, it really does help with people, like even me, because I do it, where you get off the mic and you do all this. Because when you're on top of the mic, it just sounds better. And when you have headphones on, you actually can hear it.
Yes, exactly.
That's really like the reason I wish I had 2 headphones. Man, I wish I had like 10 mics, but I only have 2. But you know what it is? It's because when people watch this, they can go on Patreon and they can support this show, and we can have 10 million microphones and 10 million headphones for all the Dan Garcias that walk into the room.
Exactly.
You know, imagine all the headphoons the people could wear.
I know. We just need money. We just need funding.
Literally. I mean, do you ever like with the comedy shows you do you ever feel like if you just had more money, if you had like infinite money, like think of all the things you could do? Do you have like grand dreams for comedy shows?
For sure. I mean, honestly, just being able to run the ads you need, everything's money.
Oh, yeah.
Getting good promotional materials, flyers. But that actually reminded me of something that I did. I actually ran a show years ago, pre-pandemic. We called it Rent Money. The idea behind the show is it was a $20 ticket that got you put in a 50-50 raffle with the show. Ooh. So one person at the end of the show would take half of the door home.
Oh, dang.
And that first show, we gave away like $497.
Yo.
And looking back, I'm like, we were dumb as hell, man.
Like, what were we
gave away $500 to some audience member. He didn't come to the next show. He didn't come to the next show. I'm like, what do you mean, dude? I'm like, you were supposed to come and bring all his friends. What the hell? I can't believe we did that.
That's very funny. I mean, what I'm doing right now, my show is called Cash Bash. We give away $100 at the end of the show, and then we give away a bunch of stuff throughout the show. But what you did was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. We took money at the door.
What you're doing, I mean, I guess if you didn't have that many people pay at the door, it would not be that bad. But 500 is nuts.
That's wild.
Wow.
And that's the nature of the show. The more people that came, the more money we'd have to give away.
But it didn't, like, you did the show again?
We did it a second time, and I think the second time it was like, it was more like utilities money, because we gave away $280-something or whatever. So it was less attended, and we gave away less money, but it was still a lot of money to give away. And then after that, we're like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What was the plan here?
There's no plan.
What the hell are we doing? We had great promotion for that though. We did like a GTA style, like,
Ooh.
but then it was very cool. It looked very cool. I tried to get it printed, and FedEx Print made me sign some stuff that they weren't liable if like we got sued because it was so close to the GTA artwork. Mm-hmm. But we had a great artist but he got too big. I can't afford him anymore. So good.
And you didn't do any shows before the show? Yes? No?
No, I did. I did a ton of. I started. Oh,
yeah. Here he goes.
Here he goes.
And it begins.
Now, and I bumped into the mic, so now we've got that.
Oh, this guy. Do you want me to kick you out? Do you want me to kick you out of the room?
Poor puppy.
Yeah. Yes.
When I started in 2017.
Okay.
And
started comedy,
stand-up comedy. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I mean, to be fair, honestly, like because I'm 43. When I was like 30. I started taking improv classes at IO Theater.
Okay.
And I thought it was really fun, but I was not good at improv. It's just a hard thing to do. It's like a silly, stupid thing to do.
Right.
But I loved it. And then I took a writing class at Second City, and I ended up sticking with writing. And I put on the show, and it was great. It was so fun, the stage show after writing 6. And these sketches I wrote were just crushing. They're just great. And then I'd be like, hi. And the audience would be like, who the fuck are you? Who is that? Because I'm not on stage. So that's when I got interested in it, but it took me a lot of years to actually then.
So how long were you writing for?
I was doing a lot of sketch.
Yeah.
And I was trying to do a lot of filming at the time.
Before you had done any stand-up?
Before the stand-up. And then I had an idea for a stand-up show, which actually very recently somebody I know made happen, just parallel thought.
Yeah.
But I had a stand-up show in mind where I wanted comics to do comedy and then to do a little therapy session and talk about, hey, what's really going on with you? Like, what's up? So I had this concept show idea, but I didn't do stand-up. So I was like, okay, I have to go figure that part out. And then I went down the fucking spiral of stand-up, and then I ended up here. Jen Flaxman ran a show, BetterHelp, and she's actually a therapist, so she's far more qualified.
And you weren't gonna have a therapist involved?
No, it was gonna be me because I got a minor in psychology, so
basically the same.
Pretty
thing.
Close. That's my favorite thing to tell Jen Flaxman. So I'm like, I got that minor in psychology. She's like, I'll kill you.
Yeah, well, it's probably it's funny. It's probably better that you never did it and it just hung in the air until she took it, because otherwise it would be like technically you did it first and then she did it. Because I mean, like it's not. It's like any idea. Like it's not. No idea is original. It's just hanging there in the air.
It is.
And so it's good that she was the right person to come along and grab it. Because, I think a therapist taking that, especially a therapist who might already be involved in comedy, that's the exact person you want to be coming along and doing that.
Exactly. She'd be perfect.
You have to get it.
She would be perfect for it. And I ended up running a bunch of other shows. The first show that I created was called Apocalypse Comedy.
Okay.
And the idea behind it was, every 2 months at the Playground Theater, there was a god that represented something that came down to earth, and we had to convince that god to spare us for 2 more months to stave off the apocalypse. So we had to put on this comedy show, and I would have a variety act come and play some kind of god-like person, some deity to open the show. We would do a stand-up comedy show, and then I would do a segment at the end called Kill and Be Killed, which was 3 comics each doing 3 or 4 minutes. The audience favorite gets $20. They get to come back and do a full set at the next Apocalypse Comedy, and then we murder them on stage as a human sacrifice to the gods. to let us continue. So we did like a gunshot, we did decapitation, stabbing, burning alive was fun. I killed somebody with a drill one time. So we really had fun with that.
Are they prepped for this? Like, are they told?
Yeah. So ahead of time, I let them know because I do have fake blood and stuff. So I'm always like, hey, don't wear like your favorite outfit. This stuff comes out, like but don't wear your favorite thing. And I had people show up and be like, what? I'm sorry. This is like my favorite outfit. I'm like, what the hell? Read the email. Read the booking email.
Yeah. So did you have to change the way that they killed them?
You know what's funny is I hope they're probably not listening, but at the time, because you have to win the little competition at the end.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm pretty sure this other person's gonna win, so I'm not worried about the outfit because there's not gonna be blood involved for you. Probably gonna kill that person who's like incredibly hilarious.
I know I'm gonna kill her.
Yeah, I was like, I know I'm gonna kill this other person, so you're okay. I'm like, don't worry, it's fine. But we did have an audience member get some fake blood on her shoe, and that girl freaked out in a way that I paid for her New Balances. I did.
Yeah, because what are you gonna do?
I'm just like, I don't need this heat. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, and there's really nothing you can do. I mean, at that point, if the blood is on the shoe,
Yeah.
the shoe's done. Yeah.
So that was my first show, and honestly, and that's what I always kind of tell people that start here is like, just make your own show. It's just so much easier to get stage time,
Right.
if you give it to yourself, and you learn a lot.
People see you on stage, like that. What you just said about stage time, like they automatically associate you with being on stage, so they're more likely to give you stage time. It's like a cycle that exists. And like practice, there's so much practice in it. I mean, there's a million reasons, right?
You ever see people put together like their little tour dates, but they're like obviously all usually local stuff, and it's just like this big old thing that gets you booked.
Right.
If someone's like, oh wow, there seems like they've got a lot of bookings. Like maybe we need to get this so and so person there, you know. So it's all perception. And then you go to those shows, there's like 4 people. It's just like, you know. But you do the job. You go and you do it.
Well, it doesn't really matter. Like in the end, a show is 4 people, a show is 40 people, a show is 400 people. I think like in the end, I mean, but I say this as a musician and not as a comedian. I think what's important is like having a connection with one person. Like if I have one person say, oh, that was great, or oh, I thought this. Anything at all. Like if you made that happen, doesn't that justify going out that night and being there and doing that? And like I think comedy, it's the same. But I think like with music, I at least have the opportunity to like, I don't really have to adapt myself so much to that environment of 4 people. I can do the same thing.
I mean, honestly, in comedy, you get one person, you bombed. You know? So no,
exactly.
You need more than 4.
It's a lot harder to not bomb in a room of 4.
It really is. And just be entertaining and be in the moment. But I think it's a skill. It's important, like anything else, to get used to get better at.
Right. Well, and that's what I think is unique about comedy compared to other things, is that it is using your unique personal whatever it is, like your personality, whatever, and emphasizing that in the moment and being funny. Like if you can pull that off, usually if you're really good at it, you can do it in almost any environment. You can get thrown on any show and you can make it work. And that's what's so great about like the best comics. And I don't think that it really applies to other things. And I think that's why comics are like particularly in podcasts and all this, because it's a personality driven thing. So of course you have these personality driven people. Like that's the whole thing in comedy, is you have a character that people know and you're this person that people understand and you're funny for a reason. Like people identify with that. So I think it all like plays into the same thing. Whereas like music, a musician, an artist like that, they can make their art and kind of just not say anything, and they don't have to have this whole character and all that. They don't have to do any of that. That can be a whole side thing that's completely different. Like if in a song, I can be completely different than I am in a conversation, but a comedian, not so much. You know what I mean? Yeah,
and I think, you get to a point, or if you build really, really strong material, you could potentially go on autopilot. You know what I mean? Like there's times where I've been in a set and I kind of feel myself disassociating a little bit, just leaving my body. If you're telling the same joke, right? Like, and that's why you got to keep writing and keep changing things.
Right.
But I just come out of my body. you got to be like, get back in your body, be in the moment. Just shove yourself back in, because making that connection is what sets it apart. The great comedians from.
How would you do that if you're telling the same joke you've told 300 times?
I mean, I think once you're leaving your body, get back in your body. That's step one, is to get.
But how do you do that?
I think just realizing that that's what's happening, that you're sort of going into like a robotic, or like maybe you're just letting autopilot happen.
Yeah.
So stop letting that happen. Like and you can just kind of seize control. I think, at least that's for me on stage. If I ever notice I'm doing that, I just try to be, it's like almost, you don't actually, but it's almost like you open your eyes a little wider, like you just like come back.
Snap back to reality.
Let go, you know what I mean? Like, don't hit yourself, but come back.
Yeah, because I mean, like, really, you need to. And then what? Once you're back in that moment, and you're still telling that same joke, now you're all good? Simple as that?
I mean, maybe it lends you to be a little looser with it, or maybe it lends you to, you just stop just delivering it in the exact same way that is going to elicit the response you want. Like, take a chance.
Right.
Like I was, I run a bunch of shows now. I run like I'm on 4 different production teams, but I run my weekly show, Jokes on Division at Butch McGuires, which is a Monday night show.
Okay.
I just headlined it on my birthday. And, headline your own show on your birthday. Do it. Headline your own show.
Did you make them all sing happy birthday to you?
No, but I think they probably did. Somebody probably made someone do it. I was out with my friend Sonal. I don't know if you know Sonal Agarwal, but she she got me like this happy birthday balloon with it looked like the one you give to your grandma, and I just had it tied to my wrist the whole time, all night. So I was on there headlining with a balloon tied to my wrist.
Just in case you guys forgot.
Yeah, in case you forgot. It was, and the reason I'm saying this is because a lot of these people, there's a lot of regulars. A lot of people have heard me over the years do similar material. So I'm doing this stuff, but it's looser. It's slightly different. It's playing with the audience.
Right.
It's, like I have a joke about wanting to be invited to an orgy, because I'm like a really nice person and I'd be good at the orgy. Like I'd be really helpful. And I don't know if you've met him, but there is a comedy super fan. He's a lawyer named Jeff. He's a bald guy, big laugh.
He sounds really familiar.
Yeah. Jeff was there at the show, and he's heard these jokes a million times, but it just so happened that when I asked if anybody wanted to go to the orgy, that he was the one that clapped real big.
Oh.
So then the bit was like, that's my +1. If I'm going to the orgy, Jeff's coming too, and there's not negotiable. So the joke, instead of what it was, is me and Jeff at the orgy together, and it was super fun, and we all, it's just like, that's being in the moment.
Yeah. Shout out Jeff, by the way.
Big shout out to Jeff. If you're listening to this, Jeff, good seeing you, man. Always love having you at the show.
But that is being in the moment, because I think like it's catching things that could only be like how I think of it is like, if you can create, or producing a show, it's the same principle. It's like, if I can create the type of thing where it'd be like, if you were talking about it, you said, oh, you had to be there. Like creating something like that where you couldn't even really understand it unless you were there, why it was so funny. Because it's like that, like if you have a good moment with the crowd, like, yeah, it's funny when you retell it, but really, it was really funny if you were there and you experienced it, because you just saw it, like you were hanging out with that guy the whole time, and then, oh, now the guy on stage is talking to that guy. That's crazy. So it's just stuff like that. I think it's like creating a unique moment that could only exist if you were there. You know?
But I think we're also lucky in that with comedy, with music, that you can film it and record it, and something still comes across.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole issue with improv, is improv does not work as a filmed, recorded, that you have to be in the room for that.
Yeah.
And I think stand-up comedy, these moments that we have, can translate a bit. It won't be the same. You won't feel the energy of the room, but it still translates a little bit. Like, I was just actually in St. Louis with Sarah Perry doing shows at the Funny Bone, and I think that was one of the parts of her headlining I was featuring for her that I really enjoyed, was watching her go into the crowd, and those moments where she was having those real moments that, are only happening in that room, or only could happen in that room. That's what's really funny, and what the best comedians can do.
Yeah, and it's like it's more of a tightrope walk for sure. I feel like because it's more of an improv thing. It's the same type of thing. I guess it's just improv. In essence, it is. I mean, also, it's crowd work, but not like I don't know. It just depends on how much you want to look at it as crowd work and how much you want to look at it as anything else. Because I don't know. I don't know what qualifies as crowd work. Like if you walk into the crowd and just talk to the crowd for like 10, 15 minutes, that would be crowd work for sure. But if you is it still crowd work if I'm like setting up a joke and then I ask a question to the crowd and I win either way because they're going to say it's a punchline for me either way. Is that still crowd work or is that just a joke at that point?
I mean, I think it still is. You're involving the crowd, and I think people would be surprised of how much crowd work is written.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
And it's not like, oh, I wrote it for this, but it's just you have all the stuff in the barrel now.
Yeah.
Especially if you're doing it. Maybe it wasn't written, but you had a good comeback to somebody in the crowd or a heckler, and now that's in your tool belt. And
right.
Maybe that gets pulled out at another time, and it works again. So.
Yeah. I mean, have you seen like Jimmy Carr's crowd work? Have you seen a lot of his stuff? Or no?
Not a ton. Judah Friedlander would be really the one I think about when I work at a tech company, and I helped book him during the pandemic to do a show for the company. And the reason it worked on Zoom is because all of it is conversational. He's not just there telling jokes. He's asking people specific questions and talking to you. And then it's like you're in a meeting with Judah Friedlander, and it's hilarious. It's crazy. I think he still does that. If you go to his Instagram, I think he might still do it.
Just like a meeting? Like, what do you mean?
Like Zoom comedy. I don't know if you remember during the pandemic, right?
Oh, I got you. Okay.
So it's that's what I mean, like a meeting, because you're just literally in a Zoom call.
Yeah, but he's doing a whole.
A whole bit, and
yeah,
his. I think a lot of what he does usually says he wants to run for office. Like, what are we worried about? So then you tell him like the problems that you're concerned about, and he'll go back and forth with you, and it was really great. It was so good. It was so funny.
Interesting. That is a fun thing that's fun. That's probably a fun thing for the comic to do, even because it's good for him to work out. I mean, it reminds me of how Mark Normand will do that thing where he'll have everybody just yell stuff at him on stage, and he'll do his best to make a joke out of whatever they say. Because I mean, that's just an impossible task.
Yeah.
You're setting yourself up for failure. So if you can make that funny, it's impressive. Even to make it remotely funny. Because it's so easy to fail in a circumstance like
We
that.
used to have pre-pandemic here in Chicago an open heckle mic on Friday nights at the Mutiny. There was this bar called the Mutiny. It was one of the most disgusting places that existed. Think about a dive bar. This place was a dive of a dive. It was horrible. But that was the first open mic I ran, was there on Wednesdays. And then there was a Tuesday mic, and then there was a Friday open heckle mic, and the open heckle mic was hilarious. It's kind of, it was Mike Johnson and maybe Emily and Rovan.
Okay.
I think that's who it was. It was just, the whole thing was a disaster, but funny. And it's just comics waiting to go up screaming at each other.
Yeah.
So the heckles are actually really funny.
Yeah.
I think there was this one, the couple that stuck out is, I think, Jarrell Scott Barnes or somebody's on stage, and he's wearing this jacket that's got zippers all over it. And he's mid-joke, and someone's like, "Your sleeve's unzipped." It's amazing. It's just the funniest. They were just there playing music while you were trying to talk, like the host, and everyone would just have a dance sing party mid-joke.
It's funny because it's a place that's not built for comedy, but is somehow the best place for comedy. It's kind of how that turns out.
Yeah.
An open mic like that, it should not be working, but it does work just because of the people in the room.
It shouldn't, but it was such a good mess of a time. But there's a show, I believe it's on Saturdays early, the Heckler's Happy Hour.
Yeah. So that's after all this.
Yeah. This is and that's actually more of
that's at Lincoln Lodge.
That's at Lincoln Lodge.
Yeah.
And they do it in a more mature, better way. It's an actual show.
It's different.
It's different in that they're inviting the audience to heckle.
Yeah.
But there is a decorum You know what I mean?
In
like,
what way?
like-
I've never been to it, so I don't
like
know.
if you're heckling to the point where it's just a complete derail and nothing can move forward, everyone else in the audience is like, this isn't what we want to do. We want to yell stuff and get a response, not yell stuff, start getting a response, and start yelling stuff over the response, and now it's just this blah mess.
Like a conversation.
So yeah, like you can. It's like the vibe of the room kind of polices itself in a way.
Well, and you said before, like with the open mic, it was comedians. So I
Yeah.
imagine this isn't comedians.
No. At the show, it's actual audience members. So sometimes people are shy. Like you might only get the show I did. I feel like there was maybe 3 people that were, participating, so to speak.
Yeah, because you need like brave people to break that seal. Because if there's like people are bound to be shy, but if you have like a couple brave people, then I think that changes it. So because I think it'd be rare to have a full room of hecklers, even if you encourage people.
Yeah, no, it's tough. But I do like because everyone's expecting it, so that's why like the comics not like what the because you get heckled sometimes. It's like, man, can we just like what is going on here?
Yeah.
But there you're like, oh, this was the plan.
Yeah,
so
it was a fun idea. How long of a set do they expect you to do? Is it 10 minutes?
I think it's 8. I just did it not terribly long ago. My friend Marianne runs it. You
had 3 solid hecklers, you say?
Yeah, there were 3. But I think while the show went on, there was, as I said, one of the guys was maybe talking a little too much, and the room started policing itself a little bit. And he's like, "Well, I thought that's what we're supposed to do."
Yeah.
And it's like, there's again like some kind of decorum where the heckle mic at the Mutiny, like, do not be top 1 through 10 because that's when everyone's still like not tired. That's when everyone's voice still works.
Everyone's ready to go.
Everyone's ready to yell. And there was like a pitcher deal, so everyone's getting hammered. You go up like 17, 18 at that mic, you might actually have a fun set. You might be able to find your way.
But this mic has died.
No, it's gone. The whole bar is gone, actually. The bar is gone. That place, at a certain point, again, pre-pandemic, it got shut down either by the city or whatever, so they just made it a key club, like a members only. You pay your dues at the beginning of the year. You have to be a member to be in there, but then it'd be open till 8 a.m. You could smoke inside, like all kinds of crazy. The rule was 1 person in the bathroom at a time.
That's always a good sign when that's a rule.
Yeah, that's a rule, and Ed will kick you out. He was an old guy. He was always there. He had all kinds of cancer. He had many cancers. Like I'd walk up, he'd be outside smoking a cigar. He'd be like, "Dan, I got the cancer," and he'd be like, just smoking a cigar. I remember one night he brought me back into his office, and he told me from start to finish the plot of 3 different horse racing movies. Secretariat, right, is one. There was like I can't remember the other 2. The whole time in my head, because I know he didn't have like a children, I was like, Ed, don't leave this bar to me. Okay, this place is not. I'm like, don't leave. That's what I was thinking in my head. Like, do not bequeath this disaster to me. This bar. There was no hot water.
Oh no.
The bartender would heat up the coffee pot and pour that into the sink over the night so that she could wash the dishes.
But like, if somebody asked for, would you ever need hot water at a bar? I would assume you would.
If you did, you're not getting it at the Mutiny.
Getting it there. Yeah.
You get it out of the coffee pot is what you like if you wanted a tea or something. But like the sink didn't.
You want tea? Give me 30 minutes.
Give me 30. I heard all kinds of.
At least 20.
The roof would leak, and this is back when it was open. The roof would leak when it wasn't raining. Like it rained yesterday. The roof's still leaking because it's all pooled up there and like not draining correctly.
Yeah.
We were running the open mic on a Wednesday, and Mike Johnson, who now runs the Reggie's Ha Ha to Hell and the Reggie's open mic, I think afterwards, Saturday at midnight, he was hosting. This is back 2018, 2017. So he's hosting the mic. It's not raining, but the ceiling's leaking, and somebody's trying to go up to do their set at the open mic, and one of them stuck ceiling tile things, waterlogged, falls and just almost like hits a person that was just sitting there and just falls on the ground. So Mike Johnson runs up and he starts pouring his beer on it. And then the people sitting around, they started pouring their beer on it. And I was looking around. I'm like, is this a public bar? Like, what is happening? The place was a mess.
You know, that's what I was thinking when you said the thing about it dripping. I was thinking, like, man, that's just an accident waiting to happen. And then you proceeded to tell me the accident that did happen.
Yeah.
It was that bad. It was exactly as bad as I had imagined.
They had a couple.
You don't want a ceiling that drips for days.
No.
You never want that.
But the solution wasn't to fix the ceiling, as they had a couple rolling garbage cans, and they would just set it under the drip, so they would just collect it.
Yeah. Till the ceiling falls on somebody again.
Yeah.
Something.
It's just comics back there. Nobody cares about them. So
I mean, it's actually a miracle that nobody got hurt the first time. I mean, that's kind of a blessing.
Oh yeah, if that thing hit you in the head, I don't know what would. It wouldn't be. Maybe it wouldn't like hurt you, but it wouldn't be great.
It wouldn't be good. I mean, even just wouldn't be good. Not good at the very least. You never want somebody to be able to say like, "Oh, I went to his comedy show and the roof fell on me."
Oh no, that's bad.
It just sounds bad. Bad optics, you know. If the roof falls next to you, it's not that bad. It's just kind of a fun gag. Falls on you, it's like a lawsuit. So I think you could sue somebody. That's the other thing I'm thinking. If it just hit my leg, I could probably sue. And some people would definitely sue.
Yeah, if you would see that place, you would know that there's no money.
Don't sue.
You're not gonna sue. Whatever you sue for, you're not gonna get it. I promise you that.
I mean, it's also another miracle is the fact you were luring people into this bar for comedy shows.
Well, it was the open mic.
People still were showing up, though.
It was just the degenerate comics. Yes, they were there. But you know, we ran against Cole's, and if you know anything about Chicago comedy, like Cole's open mic has always been a big thing. And,
I don't know.
Yeah, so Cole's, especially back then, it's changed a bit now, but back then,
not the clothing store.
No.
How's it spelled?
Coles. It's like a divey. It's Logan Square dive bar.
Okay.
But the comedy, the open mic, in the back would get a real audience every Wednesday. So comics would show up, and this is how it used to work back then. You would go there at like 6:30 because it's first come, first goes on the list, and you go at 6:30 p.m. to sign up. And if you left, they would take your name off the list, so you had to stay there. You're trapped there, and people would wait for 4, 5, 6 hours to do 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Because when you're at an open mic level, getting in front of an audience is hard and invaluable. And you want to. So it was like this thing. So our open mic was the same night, and we ran from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. And it was like the anti-Coles. It was like the sewer. You would go from like this, like, I can be in front of a real audience, to the ceiling is dripping from. Why?
Yeah.
I would I would buy pizzas because I'm in tech. Like, that's my day job. I'm a tech guy, right? So I would go buy pizzas and bring them and feed the comics to kind of like get people to show up, and also to sort of like, I feel like these people need to eat. Like it was when I was early to comedy. Now I'm like, let them starve.
Yeah.
I'm joking. I still feed people.
These degenerates.
Yeah, let the degenerates starve. But back then I really cared. I brought my camera. I would film and give people their set. Excuse me. And I was bringing like a Canon 5D Mark IV or something like that. It was like, back then it was a good camera
for an open mic. That's interesting.
Yeah, with like an L series lens. Like it was really too much.
Yeah.
It was way too much.
But you were trying to get it like off the ground.
And I was like really new and really like bright-eyed, and I'd come from like an improv, like we all are here to bring each other up kind of mentality.
Right.
And that's not always how it is in stand-up comedy.
No. I think generally that's how it is, but what you just said is true. Like overall, I think collaboration and working together seems to be the way, but it's not always how it is. Like that's a great caveat. And I think in comedy in particular, I think people tend to, I mean, I don't know, it's just so competitive. I think just because it's so competitive, people are going to be out for themselves. And so they're not, that's what you got to look out for, is when people are not wanting to be. Is that what you mean?
There's only so many weekends at Zanies.
Yeah, exactly.
Like there's only so many.
And there's so many
opportunities.
Comics.
Yeah.
There's so many. There's an endless amount. It never ends.
Every year there's more.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so there's a little bit less camaraderie, I think, in comedy because of the competition. I don't know if you see that in music. People are like not giving you the booker's email or something.
Yeah, I just think it works in a different way in music because comedians are more. I think comedians would be more deceptive about it, like because comedians are more. They work with each other more closely. Like you do shows with other comics, so you see them all the time. When you're on a show with a comic, you're with them in a green room and you're talking to them and all this. So you're bound to run into people. Whereas in music, you just won't run into somebody. It's different.
Yeah.
So I think comedians are a little bit more political about it. They're gonna be nice to your face, but they're not. They might not like you. I think there's gonna be way more of that in comedy. Naturally, because you work so closely with people,
right?
And like music, it's like you can have a show with somebody, but it's not the same type of thing as comedy. I can just dip in, dip out, and it's not like we're hanging around. I just don't think that really happens like it does in comedy, where we're stuck sitting on the same couch. So I'm hanging with you for 40 minutes, and I think like I don't know. I also think like I've just noticed. Because I haven't really messed with. I've learned a lot about the comedy world since like late 2023 until now. Would that be right? I want to say late 2023 because that's when I first started doing the podcast here, and that's when I first really started talking to comedians. And I didn't know anything. I was like, I feel like I've been like blossoming with all the information I've learned because I've learned like so much. I didn't even know, like from the outside looking in, you wouldn't understand. Like there truly are like levels to comedy. It's like a thing. There's a whole world here. There's a whole infrastructure to comedy that doesn't exist anywhere else. And so I think like with that, you get so much stuff built into it, like those politics and like people with egos and this and that you wouldn't even know unless you are intimate with it and you meet these people and you understand it on a closer level. Like I can only imagine being a comedian for 10 years, 15 years, and just the amount of dumb things end up seeing. Because I've seen people get mad over such stupid. You see the most ridiculous. And I think like my theory is, I think also comedians are, their job is to have opinions. It's literally their job is to have an opinion about a thing and make it funny. So I think that then they have an opinion about everything. Like they just have an opinion. It's what they have to do. It's how they're programmed now.
I mean, yeah, to an extent. I mean, I think we're all people. I think it's hard. You hear something, you run across something, and you always kind of get an angle in your head a little bit of.
We all do, yeah.
Yeah, how that maybe could be funny. That's true. That's definitely true. And going back a little bit to, as you were saying, like you might not run into like a musician or something. Yeah, you're totally right. That's for us. You might work with somebody like 3 times in a week. It just happened that way, that you just ran into each other over and over again.
And maybe it's because, like you said, you both are getting booked a lot recently. People scrolling on Instagram who are producers see that. Then they're like, oh, this person's hot right now. And so you both get booked on the same 2 shows because you both are popular right now. It's literally that's why I think it's Ralphie May, I want to say. And there's this video of him like doing 40 minutes of comedy advice, an hour of comedy advice on YouTube.
The Comedy Store.
A lot of people have seen this video when I bring it up. Yeah, so it's a pretty popular video. But in one point in the video, he says like, never sleep with a comedian because you never ever know what they're gonna be and when you're gonna see them again. And it's that same principle. Like you don't want to have a bad relationship with anybody or like untied loose ends with anybody because you never know. Maybe they're going to be a producer one day on this big venue that you need to perform at, but you can't because you wronged this person like 5 years ago and they happened also. But back then they were just a random comic that you happen to know, and now
I think
you never know. It's because it's this network. It's this giant network.
Oh,
of
for
people.
sure.
Yeah.
And he goes even further. He says, "Don't sleep with the club waitress." That's
right.
Also your coworker.
I forgot that.
That's also somebody who's watching. That's also somebody who's there and who has an opinion, or who might have the manager's ear, the booker's ear. Like, stop doing that stuff. But then everybody does it anyway.
But he's right. He is right because like you can never predict the slow spiral of an event like that. You don't really know. You're thinking in the moment like, oh, it's all fine, but it's almost always not fine.
I gotta watch it again. Honestly, I gotta watch it again because I feel like I was just talking to somebody about it recently. It just happened to be And there's a lot of good advice in there, but I think he also like drops the N-word.
Does he?
I was like, is it an age well?
Maybe he does.
Maybe he does. Maybe I think he might be. It's something I know at some point something problematic happens.
I know he says that black people were gonna finally start tipping our servers. He says something like that. I remember that very clearly.
I can't remember exactly.
I don't know if he said the N-word.
I feel like that he was one of those like South Texas guys that like grandfathered into it back then, because the talk was from like the early 2000s, wasn't it? Or like, when did he pass? He passed in like, actually, I don't remember.
I don't remember either, but I want to say he passed mid-thousands, like mid 2006.
Yeah, something like that. So you know, it was a different time.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, it really was though, because I mean, sometimes I'll get put off by something from like early 2000s. I'll be like, whoa,
Yeah.
you forget how different it actually was.
Yeah,
like it really was different. One thing that'll get you like that is Howard Stern. If you watch some Howard Stern from like the late 90s, you'll realize like how far Howard Stern actually went. Like you know, you can hear about it all you want, but when you see it, you're like, dang, he really did go far.
No, he was saying some wild stuff.
Saying wild stuff, like bringing people on his show just to berate them and be mean to them, and like the whole thing. And no one had ever done that before. It's almost like even crazier having the Howard Stern of now to look back at it with, because he's so different now. He's changed so much. It's like, you know, it makes it look even crazier. It's kind of like looking back at old Eminem, like having mature, regular Eminem now, who's like, oh, I would never do that. Just looking back and seeing him talk about like having sex with hookers and doing cocaine.
Yeah. Just so over the top and ridiculous. Yeah, Howard Stern, like what he did was really incredible. Like it just the way that because he basically made XM radio happen, right? Wasn't that? I don't know.
Did he? I don't fully understand, because it's about the time I was born was when his prime happened. You know,
it was basically he was on the radio, and like no one cared about like digital radio, whatever that was. No one cared.
Yeah.
But then he signed an exclusive and went over, and he brought
to satellite radio.
Yeah, enough people to like. Yeah, make it a thing.
And this was like in the late 90s.
I feel like this must have been early 2000s. I don't really remember.
Well, I want to say like he was in his prime in the 90s.
Yeah, he was. He was in his prime in the 90s.
But he never signed that deal until the 2000s.
I think it was in the 2000s, because like the cars needed the hookups, and it was when they were really trying to push it.
I see. So this was after he had already done all of that.
Yeah. So then I stopped hearing him, because no one had the stupid satellite radio thing or whatever. But I did hear him do some bits about his time in Vietnam, and he's way too young for that.
Yeah.
So it was always like the funny, I swear. Like, maybe he's still funny. I don't know. I haven't listened in a long time, but it's hard to...
I feel like he's changed. I feel like he can't be the Howard Stern he used to be, because it's hard. I mean, it's hard to be one of those people for that long and not change. I mean, in general, to be a radio personality and not change. I think there's only a couple people who have been on TV and have kept, like I would say Conan. He's been on TV a really long time, and I don't think he's ever really changed that much. He's always been the same guy. But like almost all of them end up changing somehow fundamentally. Like all of them ended up talking about Trump all the time, but they didn't, if you go back, they didn't used to do that. So all of them at one point, they just changed and became that. I think Conan never really changed, though. I think Conan's always been... Letterman, I would say Letterman probably never really changed. And Letterman was around a long time. He never changed at all, really. So he's another good example. But it's so hard to be on TV that long, because I think people change. So
people
like to not change yourself and to not... You know, like I think on a podcast, you're bound to change. If you did a podcast 10 years, you're just going to act different 10 years later. So if you don't, you're like some type of anomaly.
Yeah, like you haven't grown as a person.
Like what the fuck is wrong with Conan is what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
Why is he like that?
Why is he like this? He's just a goofball. He does a little string dance. You know?
He's been like that for 30 years. And he really is like that. I mean, he has a podcast. He's the same way.
No, he is the same way.
He's not any different.
And that's what Stern was basically doing back then. It was a freaking podcast, right?
He was kind of the first podcaster.
Yeah.
If you think about it, he kind of was. Because, I mean, like, I don't think he had a lot of oversight. And truly what makes a podcast, I think, is that lack of oversight.
Is that no rules?
I don't think anybody was telling him he couldn't do stuff. That's the only way he was doing what he was doing. Because he was, again, going, like, when I say going too far, like, I just mean wild, off-the-wall stuff. Like, he would have 2 midgets on and like say just the most offensive, they call them midget 10 times in a row and like say the most offensive things he could to try to get them mad like, so they would have a reaction.
Oh my God.
Like this is the type of thing that was the humor of the 90s, was like to poke the bear and be and like it's kind of coming back now, but I think what it is now is like it's not as tongue-in-cheek as it was in the 90s. In the 90s it was fun and cute when they were being offensive in this weird way. Now it's like I think they're being offensive just to be mean, and like there's not as much like fun in it. It's more like let's just say the most offensive thing we possibly can because we are allowed to again, and not so much like what it was in the 90s when it was actually like the beautiful freedom of the 90s. Yeah, it's just different.
I think it's because we just don't have the hope we had anymore. You know, it's just like everyone's so mad, everyone's so unhappy. It's just,
you think like a nihilism. It's kind of like a like a hateful.
No,
like,
a little. You know, maybe a little bit. Maybe a little nihilism, because like I am very pessimistic. I used to be really optimistic about things.
Yeah.
I'm so pessimistic now.
Yeah, like it's gotten everybody.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, I feel good about my future and the people around me and the things I'm trying to build and do, but I'm not going to have kids. That's crazy. Anyone who has kids, I'm like, what are you doing?
Even like 5 to 10 years ago, I remember thinking like, man, like the world we are in now, like, because 10 years ago would be 2015, 2016. So even then I was thinking, man, imagine like if I had kids right now, like what would that be like? I remember thinking that because I mean, 2016, I graduated high school. So I remember thinking like if I had kids coming out of high school, what world are my kids going to grow up in? And like if I did back then, my kid would be a 10-year-old and I would have a child in this world.
Yeah, we would have to kick him out of the podcast room.
Yeah, like
with
Oscar.
Oliver. Yeah,
just like Oscar. So
Oscar 1, Oscar 2, get out of there.
Yeah, that's what I could name my kid, Oscar 2. He's named after the dog.
He's named after the dog. You know,
But yeah, I mean, it's just it is crazy to think about because I think things are really off the rails, and I've thought many times, like even with the music I make, I think I would be better off in the 90s. Like I truly do. If you could just take me and plop me back then, I would be happier. And I think like the world was a simpler place. I don't think I'm just being nostalgic. I don't think any of that. I think there was problems, but like I do really think like if I could just go from like 1990 to 2000 over and over and over again, I'd probably be fine with that and like just stop there. And
it was
no internet, no nothing. Just the basic internet. It's fine.
I honestly, truly believe it was a better time for everybody, and we would all be better, except for like Rodney King or somebody like that. He got beat to hell by the police.
But like even with that considered, like think of how those things escalated from 2000 to 2010.
Like there's still people being beat on camera, but no one's horrified about it.
Exactly.
Instead of everyone being like, "Oh my God, the LAPD!" And now they're just like, "Oh, that's the LAPD." You know?
Yeah.
Well, what did they do? Were they a criminal? Did they deserve it? It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, and when like even like Rodney King was probably the first time it was ever filmed. Of course, it was happening before that. But yeah, just the fact that like so many things just become like normalized over time. I would say like the 90s were an innocent time in a way that we didn't even realize.
I loved it, man.
Yeah.
I miss it.
I mean, like, okay, you know what? The one con is that weed was pretty illegal in the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Now that I think about it.
And it was real bad. This is when I started getting old. Like, back in my day, weed was trash. It really was bad, but...
Forgot about that.
Pulling out the sticks and the seeds.
For the trash weed.
Yeah, you're just pulling it off. No, well, just because you just have to.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like,
that way.
You're going through all this effort for weed that's not even that good.
It's really bad.
Yeah. Seeds and stems. I forgot about that.
Yeah, but, you know.
Well, and that's, like, not even anything compared to the dirt weed of the 70s. So at least you have that. Like,
yeah,
I've seen photos of that, and I was like, is that real?
Is that
actually weed?
What the hell?
Because it looks like a branch off a tree or something.
Plus, also, like... You know, the tolerances were lower, so it was trash weed. Because now I'll eat 100 milligram, and you know I'll operate heavy machinery. No, I actually won't. I won't. But
I eat like 500 milligrams and drive home. It takes me an hour.
It takes because it goes so fast.
Normally, it's supposed to take me 2.
Oh yeah, it's just I'm getting too, especially with that Michigan edibles.
Yeah.
Because they're just 25 milligrams a piece. I don't take anything less than 25 anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, weed isn't like this weird. See, like, especially I think too, I have a friend, because there's, I think, 2 things. There's wax, because wax is just too much if you ask me. Because if you start doing wax, you end up just doing it too much. I even think vapes are kind of like that. It's just too easy.
Too easy.
You're making it too easy for yourself. And by doing that, you are like, your tolerance is going to get so fucked. But the other thing I was going to say was that weed that they sell that's like 40% and they put like crystals all over it and all this. Like no weed is naturally like that. They make it like that. It's like back in the day, the only thing you could buy like that is like moon rock.
Yeah.
And that was the only thing you could find. And that was like wax with keef on it. And it was like bud with wax with keef and maybe something else. It was just this big layer of shit. And it would be super hard to get separated, and it would burn all crazy, it would crackle, and that's moon rock.
Yeah.
And that would be the craziest thing you could buy. Now it's like you go to the store. I have a friend, he'll only want to buy the 40% weed. Like it has to be this like crazy designer weed. And I'm thinking that's not even weed. Like what you're buying is not even what it says it is. It's like something somebody made in a laboratory.
Yeah. I'm definitely guilty of this. I buy mostly infused pre-rolls covered in keef.
They're nice. Don't get me wrong.
Mostly,
I love those things.
Mostly, yeah.
But they just, like if you did that all the time, it makes a normal joint, like a normal just little bowl, feel so lame.
Yeah. It's like, why are you doing this to your tolerance? Why are you like, it's wild.
And that's, I think, what's crazy about it. Is like every now and then it's nice. And I say this as an addict. I say this as somebody who I had wax. I did wax solely for a little while, and I loved wax. I had a nectar collector, and I would heat the nectar collector up, and it would get so hot, and just dab that wax up, and oh, it was so nice. But you can only do that for so long. Like you can only, because then what else are you gonna do? Like what else are you? There's no going anywhere from that. It's just always gonna be that.
That's just what you do.
Yeah. Once you stop doing it, it kind of sucks because again you were set at this like super high level. Like wax is like 80%, and so now you're supposed to go down from there, and it's just not the same anymore.
I was like eating some full spectrum hash oil because I was trying to smoke less, because my lungs are obliterated. Like I don't even smoke cigarettes. I just smoke weed, but I've smoked so much weed my whole life. And then, fuck, dude, I got COVID that first time. I've just never been the same. I have adult asthma now after that bullshit.
Damn.
It sucks. So I was like, okay, I'm going to be healthy. I'm going to eat full spectrum hash oil. I got the spins, dude. I was like laying there trying to stop spinning. I'm like,
do you know how strong it was?
You know what? Too strong.
You're probably right. You're a good guess.
Too much. That's how I felt. I was like, as soon as I stop spinning, I'm gonna stop eating this hash oil. Had to like lay there.
Were you eating it like you ate it all at once? Yes.
No, it was because it's in like a little dispenser pen, and maybe I gave myself a good little dollop of it. But you know, they do have like it clicks. They try to give you some servings, but it was just too much. I don't know, man.
How'd you eat it? You put it on your tongue?
You could either put it on like, you know what, I'd put it on like a little piece of toilet paper if I was trying not to like literally try not to do any calories, but you could just add it to a regular edible to just make it crazy.
Wow.
Like put it on a 5 milligram and just put a dab on there, and then now it's like insane.
I didn't know they made that. And you got the spins.
Yeah, it was too much.
No, the spins. I don't think I've ever gotten this. I don't think I've ever gotten the spins from just weed, but it's weed plus alcohol.
Yes,
that does it for me. Was that what this was?
No,
because
it was just the full spectrum hash oil. That's why I was like, I'm like, this is crazy.
Because you're just, for those that don't know, the spins would be, I'm closing my eyes and it just feels like I'm spinning and it never ends. Like that's the spins.
And you're like nauseated, and you know, if you open your eyes and try to get anywhere, that's not going to happen.
I think of the spins like a self-inflicted prison almost, because you just can't do anything. Like you can close your eyes and you're still spinning.
You're still spinning. You just have to wait for it to end.
Yeah, it's the worst. I remember the first time it ever happened to me. And it was, again, weed and alcohol. And I had never had that happen before. And I was with two friends, and I was trying to say to them, like, no, guys, you don't get it. And they're like, no, you're just too high. And I'm like, no, you don't get it. Like, it was the worst thing ever.
Yeah, it's
I
bad.
wouldn't wish the spins on my worst enemy. I really wouldn't. It sucks that bad.
I 100% agree. It is.
Because you can't, like, it's like being physically debilitated. Like you said, you can't even, if you moved, your body just says no. Like, there's no going anywhere. There's no doing anything. Because if you move too much, you're probably going to throw up.
Yeah,
like,
you're going to get
that.
sick. Yeah, you're going to get sick right away.
I mean, I imagine it's how people who are, like, really, really boat sick feel if they're on a boat for long enough.
I think that's the best way to describe it to your sober fans.
Yeah. Or, like, maybe if you had vertigo, I guess. If you had vertigo, you're really high up.
If you're like a nerd and you have to get vertigo to spin. I'm kidding.
I
not
don't
great.
think I have vertigo, but I do get I don't like being high up at all. I think that's like normal. I don't think that's abnormal, but I don't like it at all. Like, I can't even stand near the edge of a building.
Yeah,
type of thing.
I'm very similar. I would even go so far to call it a fear of heights. I'm not exactly sure if that's what it is. That's like a fear of just self-preservation.
Yeah.
Like, if I see somebody sitting on like the railing of a balcony that's high up, like, I'll freak out.
That scared me just
like,
thinking about that.
Upset me beyond. I'd just be like, stop.
So like okay, there's videos on YouTube of like the Twin Towers a week before 9/11, and it's crazy because like it's videos of people on top of the Twin Towers just walking around.
George Bush, Dick Cheney, taking measurements.
All your favorites.
Trying to figure out how to do it.
That'd be so funny. You're watching the video, they're just in the background, like, hey, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
The mystery unravels.
Is he calling Osama bin Laden right?
But anyway, just seeing these people on the railing of the building, like, that's freaking me out.
It's too much.
When I've been in the Sears Tower. I've been in the Hancock Tower. I know what that looks like to be that high up and to look down. I know what it feels like. I know what it looks like. So I'm just imagining that, like, without any railing, without anything. How can you not feel like a basic fear of like, oh, like, how do you not feel that? Because I thought that was just a human thing. But when I watch these videos, I realize, oh, I must be scared.
Yeah, you're afraid, and I am too. I'm very, very scared.
Because I could never walk that close to the edge. I would be doing it like this. Like, one time, I went up to one of those, I don't know, the water tower, but it was like a watchtower thing, and it was near the Mackinac City Bridge, or Mackinac Bridge, on top of the Michigan. So that was pretty high up, and I remember even that, I was like, because there was nothing. There was no thing protecting you from just going over the edge. So I remember I was very tentative with like holding on to it. Me and my dad took a picture, and I'm like this, like
just some
trying to
Amish
get it
kids
over
calling
with.
you a pussy.
If anyone, I'm glad there was no one else up there to witness
To
it.
see how afraid, because they're like, he's scared.
Because
okay?
I was definitely scared.
Get him off of that. Somebody help him.
That's scary.
It's scary.
You can't tell me being like 10 stories up and not having anything to protect you from just going off the edge of something. I don't know how people do construction. I don't know how this is a thing people do. Roofing. People do roofing as like a job.
Not for me.
No way. I value my life.
Yeah. There's a subreddit or something called Sweaty Palms. That's videos of people climbing up those towers that are like above the, like illegally climbing structures that aren't meant to be scaled.
I've seen those. Yeah.
That's
because what they'll do is they'll climb cranes and stuff. So it'll be like the crane on top of the tower. So what I'm thinking when I watch, you don't even know anything about this crane. You don't know anything about this construction crew or what they're using the crane for, or if they did everything properly. Like, what if the crane fucks up? Like, you don't even know that.
You don't know anything.
It's not like you're working closely with these people. You just snuck in. So those videos are scary. And like, there's ones it's like in Tokyo, and it's this one guy, and he purposely, because he has like the GoPro on his forehead, so he's like hanging his feet off the edge, like purposely fucking with his life for the video, like just like, oh look, I'm just hanging out here. I don't get it. Like, I feel like it's that thing where it's like once they're doing this, they have no limits. Like, what is the limit? There's no limit to it, so they just keep trying to do even crazier stuff. And if they died, like, no one's going to be surprised. Like, everyone, because that's what everybody's already thinking when they're watching these videos. So there's no How do you? There's no winning. I don't get it. Those videos freak me out. And there's so many of them. And you can only imagine, because I think there's enough crazy people in the world where it's like once you realize there's a market for that, you're just going to have more. It reminds me of the people who, I mean, it's always been a thing, but the people who, because here in Chicago, I want to say it was the late 90s when that dude climbed the Sears Tower with his hands. Like he climbed it without any gear, with nothing. He just did it with his hands and feet, which is, I think maybe he had chalk on his hands because of course they always use chalk.
Yeah.
But still, like you're climbing a glass building. Like it's clearly not built for climbing. I think the only thing you do is like the Patrick Star method where you
Oh no.
you just do this.
You just do that all the way
the
up?
whole way up.
That's nuts.
And you're gonna get arrested when you get to the top because
Yeah.
that's how it always goes. So you attract a crowd and you get arrested. There's been videos, I think, because it's always the same guy, and it's the same guy mostly that's done that. And I want to say, like, people not so much anymore, but back then, like, there's videos of, like, firefighters trying to, like, get him down by, like, spraying him and stuff, like, crazy, because that could kill him. But I don't think they usually do that. But I've seen that before.
Yeah, I don't think getting the fire hose out is step one when someone's climbing the building. Spray them off.
But you shouldn't climb a building, though.
Don't do it.
I mean, you probably shouldn't do it. Like that's what I always think when I watch those videos is who would get inspired by. There's so many people who want to do these things. Like there are people who would do that. Like or like going through like urban places and like doing parkour. Oh my God! If I was a mom, I would be hoping my children don't do this.
No, for real.
Like, there's another reason I'm happy I don't have kids yet. Is because when I watch these videos, I think, oh my God, if my kids saw this, what a nightmare.
Yeah, no, that's.
What if my kid said he wanted to climb a crane? I'd be like, no.
No, don't do it. And now he really wants to climb the crane because you said not to do it.
Because I said not
And you're too
to.
afraid to go up there and get his ass. So it's the only place he can be away from you is up a tree.
Imagine having to chase your kid up the crane.
Oh my God.
I would just leave him.
No, I'm like, I can't. I'm like, look, I'm paralyzed with fear. So good luck, I guess.
There's no way I would climb that. There's no way.
I'd call the fire department. We'd get the fire hose. That's what I'd do. Spray the kid
cops
up.
on him.
Spray the kid right off.
Cops would do the same thing you would do. They would just look up and wait.
But they'd have their hand on their pistol for some. I'm like, man,
it's my son. I told you my son.
Jesus,
You guys, what the fuck?
that's not for me. It's too.
You're never gonna be a climber.
No, I'm not a climber. It's not
No.
gonna be me, man.
Climbing poles, like there's people who do, like even not illegally, they just climb those poles at the top of those buildings, like for a living. That would never be me either. I think my sister's boyfriend does that. He climbs poles for a living. Like he just goes to places and he climbs up a super tall pole. And I just imagine that's like, I like to imagine it's like construction where you have like a bunch of like super high dudes. Like they just get too high. They all do like crack and meth and coke and they're all in they're 45, they're 50. Like
Hell
this
yeah.
is like, they're all just out of their minds.
Those are my buddies.
And they're like a construction crew ran by some guy who like barely is alive, but he's also like really good at keeping everybody motivated and getting the job done. And these are the people that climb these poles and they like keep the 5G going. Like it's just fun to think about for me.
That's who I want building the high speed rail is those guys. You know what I mean? They'll get it done.
Maybe that's why we don't have them, because America, that would be the employees.
Those guys that would do it.
They would not know. They'd read the instruction manual and just be confused.
Yeah, it's like we're winging it.
It's not like building a railroad in the 70s.
No, it's very different.
Or the 1700s, I should say.
Honestly, our infrastructure sucks. The 70s, 1700 is the same.
It's the same. It's the same. I mean, we weren't recording. We were talking about that. I want trains so badly. I will fight for trains. Like, I don't even understand. Like, it's actually crazy that we don't have good trains, because every other like modern country has trains, I want to say, and our trains are just kind of like a side thing that we do, and people are like, oh wow, you can take the train, and they're surprised about it. But like a train would be the most efficient. It'd be more efficient than a plane if we actually like focused on it. You can make a train awesome.
Yeah, you can make a train incredible.
You can make it so good.
Yeah, you don't need to fall hundreds of thousands of feet out of the air if something goes wrong.
Yeah.
But if a high-speed train crash, you're probably still gone. But.
Well, with that being said, though, with them not investing in the trains, what is it? Like the trains are falling off the tracks in some states and stuff like this? Like that's already happening.
It's already happening, yeah. It falls right off. It's a regular-ass slow train, and it fell off. What the hell? How fast was it going? 17 miles an hour? It fell off the track? You got to be fucking kidding me.
Because the track is from the 1700s.
Yeah, from the 1700s.
They've never replaced it ever.
They never did anything.
Like no one ever went to the tracks and went, huh? And that's literally how they treat the trains. I mean, like, I feel like America is this, how I like to think about America is like, it really is like the experiment of freedom. It's like, no one really has ever tried freedom before. And we're like the first time. And this is, you're seeing freedom like 300 years in. And freedom's good in a lot of ways. But in a lot of other ways, freedom's like not so great in that like we just, you have the freedom to ignore like anything. Like,
you know what I think is really funny is that I don't have enough historical knowledge to rebuff that freedom has never been tried before.
I don't think it's, I think like there's Greek like society.
There's some like revolutions and stuff.
Democracies. You had revolutions, but I want to say the real revolutions are the French Revolution and the American Revolution. Those are like the first freedom revolutions. Before that, it's kind of a bunch of like kings and a bunch of rulers over the society of people, or like loose gatherer societies. From my understanding of history, and I could be wrong, I am a professional idiot. So I'll say all that.
Same. I don't know anything.
We both don't know anything.
I don't know anything about it.
But it is like, I really just like to think of like freedom as this thing where it is the best thing ever, but also like it is dangerous because people could just not like it does require care. Like freedom requires care. Like that's what's so beautiful about it. You can wake up any day and you do have the freedom to do what you want. But if you want to have like a good life, you have to do the right things. You can't just waste your freedom and just waste away every day, or you'll ruin your life. And so like I think that's just like a little version of what America is. This massive trial of freedom. And we're fucking it up. We're not doing great. No, we're making it look really bad.
Terrible.
We're making freedom look bad.
Like you're high up building, everything needs guardrails. Like freedom needs I'm so pessimistic about people.
Yeah.
I think people are inherently stupid and selfish.
I agree with you.
And angry. So if we're going to be a society, let's organize ourselves with at least some guidance to keep us all within the bounds of being good-ish people.
Because it's a few good men in society that can guide the society in the right direction, right? Like you have this massive group of people. Like I like to think like, how do I put it? I like people, but I hate humans, meaning like humanity. I think there's a survival instinct that makes people naturally pessimistic and aggressive and mean to each other. And it is true that if we would just work together and be nice to each other, we would work better together. But it seems to be the case that we just don't work that way as a group. Like you can try your very best to make people play nice and work together, but there's always going to be people that ruin that for everybody else. And so what you say is true then. You need rules, because the only way you're going to stop people from ruining everything, and people are still going to break your rules.
Yeah,
but you at least have to have the rules.
Right.
And that's the only way. It's like when people have like a complete anarchy version of reality, like they think, oh, we just need a ruleless society where anybody can do whatever they want. Like you need anarchy. It makes no sense to me, because how then do you not have these people that take advantage of other people, which is the reality we all deal with and create society based on, is like the fact that you have people that take advantage of other people. You're never going to get rid of that.
Right.
So you have to deal with that. And that's really the question. I don't think any society has ever even really gotten it right. That's why freedom is so weird. That's why democracy is so weird, because democracy in quotation marks, I should say. But it's like, because it's different than I don't think having a king works, because having a king, obviously, like a monarchy, you can just do whatever you want. But then a democracy, I think what we've proven is that a democracy, it's very easy to have something that starts in principle as a democracy, but can still be taken advantage of in all kinds of ways by the same types of powers that would take over any other society. It's the same thing. It's like it doesn't even end up being the people in charge that are in charge. It's just whoever has money that ends up ruling the society.
Pretty much. I mean, yeah.
Why is that? So I don't think anybody ever gets it right. Like, I think even if you had communism, you go all the way that way, it would still be money. And money would still be the thing that actually runs
and
everything.
People and power and control, and nothing changes.
So I don't think, like, I like to think like everybody, like there's like this utopia that people think exists, and then they create this political utopia in their mind. But that really, it's fake. There's no political utopia. And really it's just rules.
I mean, capitalism isn't that old of a concept in, like, for mankind. It really
you're right.
Isn't super old. But at this point, like, I can't see whatever we've done. We've painted ourselves into a corner. You know, we're mopped ourselves into the edge of the room, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
We're screwed. But if we could find a way to make it more social programs.
Yeah.
And I think that's what ultimately, unfortunately for me, why I think we're headed off a fucking cliff.
Because they don't do it?
Yeah, so many people with money don't realize, like, just give up a little bit more so that we can have shelter and a little bit of security and food, and people are going to be fine. Because
it's only a first world country for so long.
Yeah, this is getting to the point where people cannot support themselves. They can't eat. They can't do all this shit. And it's like, for what? Because of all of this wealth inequality. And it doesn't have to change really that much. I mean, I'm still shocked more people aren't, like, doing something about it, but it's hard to do something about it when you can't feed yourself and you're tired and you got to go to work. And
and I think, like, it's keeping people just well strung along enough. Like, if you have a regular everyday life and everything's going good, you don't have time to go and then protest your government. And so, of course, and then, like, the other thing is, I don't think most people even understand the extent of anything, because how could you? Again, you have a life. So most of the stuff you're seeing is, like, you're scrolling, maybe you watch the news, but even then you're watching like 5 or 10 minutes of whatever you watch, and that's about it. So, and it's even then, like, it's impossible to get like a full narrative of anything unless you are somebody who's crazy and waste your time watching the news and going deep on these things, because it's designed to be like that. I don't think you're designed to know anything about anything, because if you were to actually, like, have this uprising of people, maybe you could make something happen, but I don't think that's ever really going to happen. I don't think people are like, I think people are convinced that we could never get along, for one thing. I think they're convinced that, like, the people, you can never get along with anybody else, and everybody that you disagree with politically is, like, the worst person. And it's not the people who are in, like, the government who actually control your life. It's, like, the guy who is sitting across from you at the bar. And, like, that's the story they tell you. And I think when you tell everybody that, no one's ever going to join together. And I just don't know how you ever really have, like, social change. And I think, like, with capitalism and all that, I just think, like, it's beyond the point where it's just like the scales have tipped, and it's really not even that complicated. I don't think, like, it's just something where you don't need to, like, steal money from people. You just find a way to, like, make it so the scales aren't so tipped. Maybe just put money into poor people, and then now you have, like, an influx of, like, don't just throw it at the poor people, but just, like, in tiny little increments, like a syringe, just, like, inject a tiny bit of money in there, and maybe that would be good. But there's nothing like that even. No. And then you have the fact that, like, America in general, just in principle, it never acts that way. It's like Bad Parents, where you have people who come back from war and they have all this trauma, people from 9/11 who have all this trauma, like the firefighters, and they get nothing from the government. So, like, even the people that are the supposed heroes that the government is telling you, we love these people, they're the most important people, they just get kind of thrown to the side, and they don't get help from the government either. And they're also the homeless people, like the homeless veterans. How is a veteran ever homeless? Like, it doesn't even make sense. It shouldn't even happen. And if our supposed values are as they are. And so I feel like what makes it impossible is the fact that it's money. Like, money's the root of all evil. It. Because how then do you do anything? If the people who have the money are the ones who write the rules, how then do you do anything? How could you ever? How could you ever have the influence then? Because even the people who I think who get the influence, Like, how do you maintain that without dying? Like, how is it possible?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think like the game is fixed. I think the game is actually fixed, and I don't even know. I think society. I think we're both. I think you've sold me. I think it's a downhill spiral.
It's terrible. Nothing's gonna get better.
But you know what? Like, I do think I try to look at it as a comedy. That's what I've always thought. I've always thought, like, if I just look at this whole thing as like this comedy, it at least is funny. Like, it's so ridiculous, the reality we're in, that at a certain point it's comedic. Like, I mean, we really are in like a ridiculous reality.
Yeah, it's terrible. And you know, once you are conscious enough, you're born and you're raised in this society, and you're conscious enough to realize, like, oh, everything's like this because people decided. That's it.
Yeah.
Just people decided to organize themselves this way. There's nothing that makes it this way. We decided as a people that this is what we're going to fucking do. And it's not good.
Well, when you say we decided, what do you mean?
So like the way that we've structured our societies, we've structured the country. Some people just decided this would be like, this money, this has value. Like this, you know, you're going to go vote. This is how you're going to do it. And we're born into it just like, oh, this is what you do. Yeah. We don't have to keep doing it. Right. Like if enough people decided like, hey, we don't want to do this. We don't have to. We could do something else. But that's just not how it realistically works. Yeah. I mean, I used to be more so optimistic. Well, you know, maybe back in the day. But I used to say if I had one wish, like a genie, give me anything at all, wish for anything at all, I would wish that every person in the world, alive and born, would have empathy that they could not ignore. Huh. And if that was the case, this would be a better world. But I'm at the point now where I'm like, if I found a fucking genie for one wish, everyone's infertile. If you got one coming, you can have it, and then give it 100 years. It looks a lot better.
No more babies?
No more babies.
For how long? Just forever?
Forever. Just end it.
Get it over.
End mankind. Empathy, I'm like, you know what? Who got time for that?
Why did that change so radically?
Yeah. I think honestly, I'm just like, fuck them. I'm like that. You know, like empathy. Yeah. The empathy thing is like, because we could, honestly, if we pulled all of our resources of mankind, we could be exploring space. Right. Like for sure. We could be out there doing. We could
even the ocean. The amount of ocean we haven't explored.
Why not then?
But we don't spend the money on that. Yeah.
We don't even have a high-speed rail. Yeah. I can't even get like insulin. I don't need it, but what if I want it? Yeah. Oh my God! Like everything's bad. So it's pretty tough. You know what I think? I feel like if I did get that wish, I would really be conflicted between those two doors. I really think now I'm leaning towards end mankind. But the part that stops me from doing that is just thinking what the rest of, like there was a movie, Children of Men, starring Clive Owen. And they theorized that if people start having kids, everyone's going to go fucking crazy and start killing each other or something. Everyone's going to go nuts. Probably. Because they're like, it's all over or whatever. Yeah. What's the purpose?
End times. It'd be times, yeah. Think the Bible is true and God's coming.
So that would make things really, really bad. But then in 100 years when there's no people, it's really, really nice. You know,
yeah. When it's all over.
It's all done.
Imagine being like the last guy.
Nature will just reclaim it all and it'll be done.
That'd be a good movie. It's not a bad idea for a movie. Like just the genie goes to the wrong guy.
Yeah, he's just like, yeah.
Just end it all.
Just end it. I don't want to blink everybody out, but it's just like, stop having kids.
Yeah. I mean, well, for one, didn't China try that? And then now it's not good. Like now they want kids. That's what I heard. I thought China changed their mind. So now they want people to have kids.
They used to, because of population issues, they used to only allow you to have one. But the problem with that is the way that men and women are treated differently in society. So whenever anyone would have a baby girl, they try to like throw it away.
Oh no!
So they can have a baby boy.
Oh no!
So
good.
yeah, so it's like these consequences. You know, like.
And so they changed their mind?
So they were like, oh yeah, this isn't working out because everyone's like abandoning their little female babies.
Oh no.
They're getting rid of them or abandoning them so they could have like a little boy or even worse, like terrible things.
Right.
You know, like that's the worst thing that could happen to you. Because I think they still had like dowries and all kinds of things. And the way that the family structure is, that the girl goes to the other family, she's not even like, I don't know. I could be completely culturally wrong about all this. All I know is that they were only allowing boys, and that was totally fucked up.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of Chinese girls that were being adopted and brought to America during that time.
Whoa.
But then now they're like, oh yeah, we totally fucked this up.
Yeah, because like it would end up, the consequences I imagine would be population issues, like even worse ones than your original one, because then people would end up not having babies for other reasons or whatever it is.
Yeah,
Like
I mean, just all men now.
Yeah, now it's all right. Now it's all men.
Society.
Oh, right, because they threw all the girls to the other countries.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
It's not great.
No, not great at all. Let them fuck. That would be the
let
shirt.
them fuck.
Let's make a shirt that says "Let them fuck." Because I mean, come on now, you just can't stop the fucking. That's the problem. We start stopping the fucking. You have these. It's like prohibition.
You know what should stop it here is the cost. You know how much it is to give birth to a child here? It's like tens of thousands of dollars.
Is it really?
Yes.
Like the hospital fees?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Just to have a baby. And it's like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, that is crazy. Because there's not another choice. It's either that or you give birth in your apartment.
Yeah, that's true. I was thinking about the other choice, but that one comes in months before.
Yeah.
Many months before.
Yeah. And
that only costs $500.
It can be free if you know what you're doing.
If you know what you're doing, but I like to leave that to the professionals.
Dude, I am such an idiot. I can say this. I am such an idiot that when I was in it'd be high school, and I had sex with a girl, and I spoke with my friend, and he said that if she's pregnant, you can if you have a coat hanger, you can fix that. And I thought I like took him seriously.
Oh my God.
And so then I said to that girl I was dating that I had sex with, I said like, hey, so and so said that we could just use a coat hanger and we'd be fine. And I remember her reaction was like, oh my God, like, no, are you serious? Like, what are you talking about? I was like, and I was like, oh yeah, he was probably joking.
Yeah, you're nice. Yeah.
That's how stupid I am.
Amazing.
Is I truly did think like, well, he said.
Definitely things you shouldn't say to a woman you want to continue to have sex with. That's 100%.
I just remember like she must have been so confused by that.
Yeah.
Because I was making a serious suggestion.
She was like, this sounds bad.
But coat hanger method. I think like that one. I think I like heard a friend say something like that when I was in like 7th grade. I don't know. Like I'm sure people have done that before, but I cannot imagine it's ever worked once.
I hope people haven't, but I'm sure something has happened.
I mean, well, I like to think everything has always happened.
You know what I think is good about it though? You saying that to her, because if she was pregnant, she would know that you don't want the kid and you're an unfit parent. She would know those two things. She was like,
the context of it was like, oh, if I'm pregnant, what are we going to do? And so like, that was what we were trying to figure out.
The coat hanger.
And I want to say that she had said something crazy too. Like, oh, I could fall down the stairs.
Yeah. I mean,
let me just caveat it with, she also said something crazy.
It's kids. You're kids.
These are 15-year-olds we're talking about.
Oh, so you lost your virginity kind of early then.
Maybe I was 17. Maybe I'm exaggerating.
I mean, I lost mine at 13. So
when did I lose my virginity? I had like an experience. I don't know if you would count this, but I remember it.
I'm counting it.
Let's count it. I want to say 8, and like there was the 2 kids down the street.
Not counting it anymore. I'm sorry. I'm gonna listen it out. I'm gonna hear it out. Okay.
There was 8, and there were these 2 kids down the street, and I remember I like stayed the night at their house, and it was a brother and sister, and I had a crush on the girl, and I remember like we were under a blanket, and like we had like. I don't even know. It was like It was like what little kids would consider crazy. Like, oh my gosh, I saw a wiener, like something like that. And like maybe a girl had touched my wiener. Maybe that's what happened. But I remember being 8 years old and like holding on to that for so long. Thinking I lost my virginity. I probably did not.
Under Sandy's porch, I lost my virginity. She touched it. That counts.
But I can tell you my other one too is It was like in like 8th grade, 9th grade. And this was like a girl that was my friend, like older friends. My friend was like a few years older than me. So he was probably like junior, senior in high school. And I was just in high school. I'd just gotten to high school. And so I was staying the night at his house. And he was like the friend with the cool mom who would buy alcohol and all this. And so he had a girl at his house. And the girl was his like close friend. And she was like flirting with me. And so she like had plotted, like she had said to me, like, if you just stay the night and then like da-da-da-da-da. And I remember, like, I had sex with that girl when I was supposed to go to school. Like, I think I even fake left my friend's house and then came back. It was one of those. Like, I told my friend I was leaving. I fake left, and then I came back. It was the plan. And then I remember as soon as I got to school, I, like, walked up to one of my friends and said, guess what I just did? It's like the exact thing a kid would do. You know? Immediately tell somebody.
That's so funny.
But that was the first time I think I had ever had a girl like come on to me and have sex with a girl. Like, and when you're in 9th grade, that's crazy.
That's insane.
Insane. You can't even like it's hard to recreate that feeling in my mind. Like, I have to really remember the moment because it's something you can only experience when you're in like middle school or high school. It's like the forbidden. It really is like. So it's like it seems impossible. It seems like something that would never happen, and then it finally happens. It's like the reason that the movie American Pie exists. You know, this is something that exists only at one point in time in your life.
I was sleeping with an older girl because I was only 13. She was like 16, 17.
Oh, see, now that must have been a wild situation for you.
It was very wild because it was. Well, we started when I was 13, but I went to high school a little bit early. When I graduated high school, I was still 17. I got let into school early somehow. I think in preschool I was like really smart. They just let me go in. My birthday's October 27th.
Yeah.
So like I didn't turn 21 until October 27th of my senior year of college, for example. So I was always like,
how old were you when you graduated high school?
Really, 17.
Okay.
Right. So I wasn't 18 until I was in college.
Right.
Right. So I was young. So when I was 13, I was going into freshman year of high school, about-ish. So I was about to be 14. And that's where I started sleeping with this girl. So in high school, she used to climb a tree and jump onto the roof of my house because my bedroom was on the 2nd floor. And we had those alarms. So if you open the door, it would beep. So she couldn't come in the doors. So she'd be coming in my bedroom window. And we would be having sex. And I'd be going to school, telling all my friends. And they're like, everyone was so young. We're like, what? They're like, what are you doing?
Yo,
it was so early.
That sounds awesome.
It was very fun. I mean, I thought I was incredibly cool.
That's like a kid's fantasy. Yeah. I can't even believe this. Because usually it's the guy that climbs through the window.
No,
like, you had an older woman coming to you through your window at night. Yeah. Like, that's ridiculous. That sounds fake.
I look pretty good at 13, I guess.
You must.
I was a good-looking kid. I really kept it
and
together.
Like, so I see why you caveat the whole school thing, because she must have been like a grade or two ahead of you or something.
She was 2 because she was held back. So she was held back a grade and I was like up a grade.
That makes sense. Huh.
So when I was a freshman, she was a junior. When I was a sophomore, she was a senior.
Right. Man, that's wild. How did she do you remember the first time she climbed through your window? Like, do you remember how that began? Like, did you tell her?
No,
did she tell you?
I think she was knocking on my fucking window. And I'm like,
you're like, what the
fuck? I'm pretty sure I wasn't like, hey, climb the tree. I was like, I would have never thought of that shit. I'm afraid of heights. I didn't even want her up there.
She was dedicated, though.
No, I think one of the times she jumped down and she kind of hurt her leg a little bit, so she started bringing a ladder.
Imagine your parents waking up, looking
God.
outside at a ladder on the side of their house.
They must have been heavy sleepers, because how did they not wake up to that shit?
Yeah. That's another thing, too, that I do remember is with that same girl I had mentioned before, like, trying to, like, work around parents, like, oh, let's not like have your parents know about this, because that is something, again, you only experience when you're like a teenager.
When you're a teenager, yeah.
You're never gonna care about that when you're older. It's like, oh, let's not worry the adults in the other room. Like, you are the adults. But when you're a teenager, it's like, I remember her parents did a couple things. Like, they had made a rule where we could only be in the living room. But I feel like that like made it worse, because then it would be like me and this girl thinking like, oh, how much can we get away with in this living room?
Oh my God.
Like, it doesn't work. You can't tell the kids, let them fuck.
Let them fuck.
It's not gonna work. Because it didn't work.
God.
In my experience, that did not work. It only made it worse, because now we're like trapped in this room. And I just remember her parents tried all kinds of things. I remember one time her parents were like kind of weird about stuff. It was like it was a school talent show, and I was in the talent show. And so I had performed, and then me and the girl were like out and to the side. Like, we weren't hanging out with the friends that she came with. We were out and to the side hanging out with just me and her. And her dad was like over in, it's like a big lobby, and there's a bathroom area. So we're in the bathroom area, and then there's the big lobby where her dad is. And so eventually her dad found out that we weren't with all the friends. And so he assumes we like snuck off and did something. And so then he like had a meeting with my mom, and he told my mom what had happened. And my mom was she was of a trooper. She just kind of like nodded along and said all the things she had to say to him, and then like didn't punish me because she didn't really care. But like, it was just an odd thing. Like, he got so mad because he was thinking like she had betrayed her friends by not being with her, because her friend was also in the talent show and she didn't see her friend go up. And he also had assumed that we must have went in the bathroom and had sex. And like, we were again in high school, so he thought this was an appropriate reaction to then like call a meeting with my mom, and then like sit my mom down and tell her what we did. And that was, I think, how the living room thing began. I think that's how the living room.
So then you guys were confined to the living room, no locked doors.
Yeah, so but none of that stuff ever works. And also, I do think like there's nothing like being a teenager and having to deal with that, though, because I kind of wish I had those problems again. Like, the more I think about it, those were nice problems to have.
Not bad problems.
I thought those were bad problems at that point in my life.
No,
and those problems kind of were just like fun.
You just got to figure out how to hook up in the living room.
Yeah, like literally
the biggest problem.
That's what I would think about. That's the type of stuff that I would think about. Like, now I have to think about like, I don't know, like how I'm gonna afford dog food next week.
Yeah, survival. Yeah. Stupid things like that.
I'd much rather think about how to hook up in a living room.
Yeah, be like, if we drink out of your parents' liquor bottle, can we put a little water in there and fix it up a little bit? Like, yeah.
I never put water in there. I was never so silly as to do that, because I think that's a rookie move.
To dilute it?
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work. They know
that's a rookie move. Well, one, it tastes worse, so they're going to notice that. They'll just be like, what the fuck, this tastes bad. And that'll tee them off. But also, like just steal bits and pieces. Yeah. Just steal bits at a time.
A tiny little bit. Stop drinking so much of it.
Rookies.
Yeah, like you're drinking so much that it's noticeable. They were drunk the last time they drank it. Don't finish the bottle.
Exactly. I remember my friend told me once his mom knew that he stole from her because the bottle froze in the freezer because he put water in it. And I'm thinking, rookie move.
Rookie move, man. Yeah. Rookie shit.
Like, literally, it could be a box full of beers and they're not even going to notice if one is gone. Like, that type of thing. Like, what are you doing filling things up with water? I've never understood that. Even when I was 10.
See, you knew enough about alcohol. We were dumb. We were just like, I started that early too. Again, like 13. And we did.
Yeah, I had bad influences. That's my excuse.
So we did get caught. You can't put water in the bottle. It's stupid.
No. Nope.
So we got in trouble for that. But we used to do this thing where we would. We called it garage hopping. We lived in the suburbs of Chicago at this point. I moved a lot, but at this point, I'm in the suburbs of Chicago. And at dusk, you go around and look for the garages that are open and that have refrigerators in the garage. And then when it's night, see if they forgot to close the garage door. And if they did, Get in there and see what's in that fridge. Sometimes it's beer. A lot of times it's beer. A lot of times cases of beer are just sitting in the garage waiting to be brought inside.
See, nowadays you got so many ring cams. I don't even think that can happen anymore.
You would be caught
You're on like a
immediately,
Facebook page immediately.
and you'd probably be shot. We ran that risk too, I guess. I didn't think about it back then, but
yeah, but back then it was different. You're talking what year is this?
This is probably like 1997.
Yeah.
1996, 1997, something like that.
Yeah. Because, I mean, like, I don't even think doorbell security and door security became a thing until late 2000s. Like, you could still ding-dong ditch somebody and all that.
Oh, for sure. There's no camera.
Yeah.
100%.
But that's really what makes this possible is that. Once you start having cameras everywhere, it kind of ruins it.
It kind of ruins it because we were doing it, like, almost every night of the week. We were, like, really trolling the neighborhood. Yeah. And we got so much booze. We started to have to steal accessories. We needed to get a cooler. We needed, and we were hiding it in the forest.
And when you can't buy booze, that's amazing.
It was amazing. We had all this beer.
You got to stash it like a squirrel.
Yeah, so we had forest preserve. So we would go out in the forest preserve and stash it out there.
Yeah.
And then at night, we would have to sneak out and go drink in the middle of the night in the forest preserve.
Yeah.
Like my shoes would be all muddy, and my parents were like, "What the fuck? What were you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I was just in the woods."
And it makes it kind of better that you had to go to the woods for it. I feel like
it was a fun time. We really had a fun time. We were messes, man. But I kept good grades.
Yeah. Well, everybody's different with alcohol. I mean, what is it in Mexico? I want to say Mexico. Maybe it's just South America in general. I don't know. Where is it 13 is the drinking age?
Oh my God. I don't know.
Somewhere it's low.
That's low. I mean, I say that. I'm like, wow, that's low. That's when I started drinking.
Well, exactly.
So.
I wonder, like, because obviously brain development and all that. But I do think people are fundamentally different. Like, I've seen alcohol affect some people in crazy ways, and I see some people just down it and they're fine. So, like, I think I've always been a lightweight. I'm one of those people. It does not take much for me. It really doesn't. And I'm kind of proud of that. Like, it makes it easy. I save money,
I'm not crazy, but it just seems like so much work. You got to keep drinking and swallowing.
I don't want
You got
that.
to go to the bathroom all the time. It's just so much. So, no, I completely agree. I'm not huge. I mean, I drink, like, I do. We're comics, or I'm a comic. Just all the time in bars.
Kind of hard not to if you're a comic, right?
Yeah,
I feel like you're surrounded by it.
A couple beers, you get a little looser. Maybe it make you a little funnier on stage,
Well, yeah. I think, like, in comedy, I think that it's limiting yourself. I think in general, but I think in comedy, because you're at bars and because you're at places that often serve alcohol, they'll give you a comp and all this. Like, that's the problem, is it sucks you in.
Sometimes we get paid in 2 drink tickets. They're like, hey, sorry, we don't have any pay, but if you want to get a couple drinks, it's on us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's kind of the nature of the thing. But as a kid, I think, and it stuck with me because I was always in honors classes. I was always a good student. I always, like, my parents didn't have to ask me to do my fucking homework or anything. I was just like, I got to do this.
Right.
For some reason, I was always, like, in that mentality, and I was smart, so it wasn't that hard.
Yeah.
But with alcohol and weed and sex, at 13 years old, I'm like, this can't fuck up school. This can't fuck up, like, home. This can't fuck up, like, anything else. So, and then I got older, and I'm like, okay, this can't fuck up my job. And I just carried that. So now, anytime I go out with people and they're out of control, like, it's wild to me. Like, I was at a friend's bachelor party, and they're like, we're going to do Molly and LSD, right? They're like, we're going to do that, and we're going to go to this show, and we're in Toronto. And I'm thinking, like, these guys have been disasters the whole weekend. And I'm like, I'm just going to do the Molly. And then I helped everyone get home. You know what I mean? Like,
it didn't go well.
No, it was, I mean, they were just, one of the guys the guy that lived there, like, left the show. He was trying to walk to Chinatown to get a rub and tug from, like, the old Asian ladies or whatever.
Of course he was.
And it ended up being one of those no phone shows. So they put her phone in the thing. So the other 2 guys are like tripping balls. And I'm on Molly. I'm feeling great. I'm drinking. I'm doing all the drugs or whatever. Everything's fine. But I'm trying to keep everything straight. So the one guy leaves, and then the other dude's like, what is this? And he keeps, like, pulling out the pouch and unsure. He just can't remember that he had to put his phone in his pouch because he's at a show, like a music show.
Yeah.
So the whole thing was, like, so insane.
And you're kind of like babysitting a little bit?
Kind of. And that's how I've always been. So it's like, I'll do all the drugs, but I'm going to just stay in the pocket. Like, I'll drink, I'll smoke weed. If we're doing LSD and Molly, I'm just going to do the Molly so then I can get us the Uber home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I'll eat the LSD another time or whatever. I'll do that too. I don't care. But I just try to stay somewhat in semblance of control. And I feel like that all started by me starting with drugs and alcohol and all that early. As a kid, that's where that all came from. So I think if for all the smart kids out there, start doing drugs and drinking as soon as possible.
You know, you might be onto something, because I mean, I do think that like I like tripping by myself, and the reason I like tripping by myself is because I know I can control it. Like I am entirely in control of that situation. Like I'd rather have full freedom and control. I don't want somebody to help me, and somebody like I'd actually rather be entirely within my own. Like I'm so far in that direction that as soon as you introduce another person, it's actually like in my mind you're more likely to introduce like it's not going to be as personal of an experience. And I think that it's the ultimate test of your self-control in a way. Like, can you hold it down in that type of thing? And I think like by being by myself, I've put myself through it enough times to where now if I'm in an instance where I'm with somebody else, I've been through this before. Now, that's not to say like if I took like a crazy amount of something, it's like you can't. You're all the way out there. But that's, it's also why I say to you, like, I've seen people handle things differently, because I know if I'm like super drunk, maybe alcohol is the thing that could get me, just because I don't drink all the time. But like if I'm super high, I'm almost always fine in any situation. Like I'm not gonna like lose all coherence and not be able to speak or think. But I've seen people who are like that, and so I know it is real. But I'm not that guy. And like I could be so high that I'll just get like really tired and just won't want to do anything, but I won't like lose reality. It just never happens to me. Ever. It just doesn't happen. And even with psychedelics, I've never had an instance where I've like completely lost touch with reality, I don't think.
No, I think I could always kind of like bring it back if I need to, like for even just a moment, like focus in and come back to reality.
Yeah.
While you're tripping, and then you kind of let it loose again. But I've only really done mushrooms and LSD. I haven't done like anything.
Same. I haven't done anything
like
other than
mescaline or something.
I guess Molly, if you count Molly, right? If you wanted to count it, does it count as a psychedelic? I thought it did.
Maybe. I don't know.
No,
actually.
though. I mean, but I ketamine, I imagine, would be similar. But I think it's just like the self-control thing, because I think I've seen people who don't have that, and I almost think it's like it's just your reflection of your everyday personality like coming out. Like if you can't have it then, you probably don't have it all the time, because I've seen people who like they like spiral. They'll go even when they get too drunk, it'll be the same thing. I remember I had a friend who he would like have thought loops if he drank too much. He would just repeat himself and say the same things, and it's weird to see, because it was only if he drank too much. It's like his mind would go the wrong way.
I mean, honestly, I think psychedelics and giving people some introspection actually would be really good for a lot of people.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah, I agree.
Really good. It's just, to them getting past that's illegal, or that's not what you're supposed to do, and it's like, says who?
I mean, I think it's like what I always would say is that it's not for everybody,
for sure.
But I would also say, because I say that to caveat the fact that my most positive revelatory experiences have been through psilocybin and mushrooms. Like it's hands down been the most positive thing to ever happen to me. I think it's the best thing ever.
Yeah.
But I would never say everyone has to do mushrooms or everybody has to try it, because I do think some people have bad reactions and some people get put off. But I do think that like there's something to the fact that I think like certain like for me, at least what I could say, like objectively, just without denial, it has given me perspective on things in a way that I just never could have had otherwise. And I think once you see some things in a certain light that is so truthful in that moment, you can't unsee it. Like it's just always there. You always remember that truth and how truthful it was. And I think there's only certain experiences that can take you outside of yourself. And sometimes it's that, and that's what it was for me. And so it's just, I would, again, never recommend this to everybody because I know all of that sounds like a sales pitch for mushrooms.
Yeah.
But truly, I mean, I can, the one thing that it taught me that I'll never forget is I remember I had this, like, it just hit me. I was like, oh, my life purpose, the reason I exist is to shine my light upon other people. Like, this is the whole point of what I do, of everything I do. It's the thing that makes me feel good. It's the thing that makes me feel purposeful, like I'm actually achieving something, is making an actual difference by using what I have to lift other people up. And however I can do that, I should just do that and that alone. And because I can do it well, and that's something most people can't do. And like, just knowing that so truthfully, like, that's the reason I exist, and like that making so much sense. How could I ever forget that? Because nothing else has ever like clicked in my mind, like, oh, that's what I was sent on earth to do. But in that moment, it made perfect sense. And like, to the point where I want to like cry. It's like, oh my God, I get it.
It's so true. It's the absolute truth.
And there's like little things like that where I just think like, it's just, I don't think you can replicate something like that. Like, you can only experience it to even truly understand it, of like what that type of experience feels like.
Yep.
Because it's almost like a stimulated schizophrenia. It's like it's an alternate reality that is so real while you're in it. It feels so real.
There's a lot of people that would just break their brains because they're so intent on being like this vicious, awful, toxic person. You know, if they had that experience, it would completely shake their worldview.
Yeah, I agree. But that's I think what the problem is that I think a lot of those people miss the message. And it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, they're automatically turned off on it, so they have a bad trip, and then their bad trip is just misinterpreted, because I don't think there's even such thing as a bad trip. I really don't. I think like you see what you're meant to see. But that's because I think the way I think.
Yeah.
And I don't think they would think that way. They would just completely miss it. So it is like, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what, because I agree with you. I think so many closed off people. I remember I had a friend though, who I had that exact experience where I was thinking maybe I could open him up. Maybe I could like make him a little looser. And he had a bad trip, and he wanted to go home the whole time, and he didn't like it, and I could just tell, like, oh, this is not.
Yeah, he's fighting it.
He's fighting it. That's exactly what it was.
I always thought you were saying something like you're meant to see.
You see what you're meant to see.
You see what you're meant to see, and I'm like, that sounds like someone who's never been covered in bugs.
But see, that's like, that means that you're afraid of bugs, and life was like, God was sending you some type of message, man. I don't know what it was.
No, but again, it's like, it's just you're fighting it. It's something that's happening in your psyche. Like, you can't relax. This is something you're manifesting from within.
Yeah, and
There's
I think psychedelics really do like pull the inside out. Like, it's not so much like the outside and like tripping and seeing things. It's a reflection, a projection of what's inside of you that comes out. And so again, if you're fighting it and you're all like that, like you're already closed off and like rigid and rough around the edges, it's going to be a lot harder for you to like flow with an experience like that.
Yeah, well.
And it's a sight to see, I tell you, because those people, like, those are the people that nightmare.
Yeah.
Like, that's them. They don't know what to do. For me, it's like, I don't even feel like, sometimes I wonder, like, am I still high? And then I look at the wall and I'm like, I'm still high.
Oh, it's still,
that's
still
how
working.
it happens to me. So.
I think one of the last times I ate like a large amount of mushrooms, I steeped it in some tea, and it was just like a weekday. This is back when I lived in the suburbs. I had this house, had roommates that lived there with me, and I go downstairs and they're watching like The Hurt Locker, and I'm like, all right, I'll sit down. I start watching it, and I'm like, probably not the right movie right now for mushrooms. If you've ever seen The Hurt Locker, don't watch it on mushrooms. I'll tell you that. So then I go upstairs and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll play this game I got. And I fire it up and I'm like trying to play this video game. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And this also didn't seem like the right thing that I should be doing right now. And then at one point I like get in bed and I'm like in a cocoon and I'm like kind of being like reborn. And I'm like, it's like Wednesday. I'm like, I don't think I should be eating. I think that's what I learned. I'm like, too many mushrooms for Wednesday.
One time I took mushrooms at like 6 in the morning, and I normally do it at night, but I was just thinking, you know what? I'm going to take a big dose at 6 in the morning. Let's be crazy. And that was exactly the same type of experience. It was like I just felt weird, and I was under a blanket, like evolving, and I just was thinking, oh, it's bright out. It's fucking 2 p.m. What is going on?
Maybe not the right time. Plus, it's bad. I like being outside.
Yeah.
If I can be on mushrooms, I like to be outside. Not always.
I would do that if I was in more of like a nature setting. If there weren't like, I don't like the idea of like, I don't know, running into people and all this.
Agreed. Yeah. Then that's what I mean as a nature. Yes.
Like if I was in the woods, hell yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
But a comfortable space is what's key, even if that is home. Mm-hmm. But air is nice.
And outdoors and nature and all that. Like one thing I've noticed that I also like about mushrooms, I think it exaggerates things like that to where I can't ignore them. Like one thing I've noticed over and over again, it happens every time, is I'll like be having a personal experience. Like I'll be going through the motions of all this, and if I pick up my phone and I start to look at my phone, it's like all of that is just gone, and now I'm doing this curated thing that I could do anytime, always, and it just becomes different. As like, and I could literally feel the magic of a trip like go away the moment I pick my phone up, and that's how like bad it is. And so I just have to stay away from it the entire time I'm tripping is what I've learned. Because like the feeling of scrolling and while you're tripping, and then like once you're done, it just feels bad. Like it doesn't even feel, because you can feel how wrong it is. Like it's not like normal when you can just kind of like, oh, it's just a thing. Like it's like, oh, I was like here and then I was here.
Yeah, there's no connection. You're so detached from everything that's happening.
And if I don't like that, and I've noticed, I've had it happen multiple times where like I'll have a trip going for so long, it'll be golden, and then I'll just ruin it with my godforsaken TikTok.
Yeah, I haven't really been messing around with psychedelics in some years now. So
oh no, what stopped you?
I think I was just kind of done with it. Plus, if I could find some really good like gel cap LSD or something, maybe I'd do it. But it's always mushrooms, and then for me, I always have the queasiness and the going into that, and that bugs me.
Did the tea help you? You said you did the tea. Did that ever help?
The tea was a little better, but I did still because you're having like some intestinal paralysis or something. That's what's going on, right?
Yeah.
Like chemically or something. So something's happening actually, and whatever that is.
It's like drinking. I mean, drinking is like the same, where the reaction of your liver is what's causing the effects.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with like the chemical breakdown of the psilocybin itself is what's causing the effects. So I've heard that. Have you ever heard of the lemon tech, like lemon juice? You ever hear that?
It sounds familiar, yes.
Because I mean, it's similar to tea, except the lemon, from my understanding, is supposed to do what your stomach does. So it's supposed to break down the psilocybin. So it's not like it reduces the amount of queasiness because that's already been done by the lemon. And they call it like the businessman's trip, in the sense that it's supposed to make the trip stronger but faster. So say you have 3.5 grams, it turns it into 5 grams, and instead of 6 hours, it's 4, supposedly. That's like in theory. And I used to like do this all the time. I used to do it that way, but I would still consume the solids because I just like, I feel like the solids, you wouldn't want to if you already get queasy, but I'm like a purist. I'm just thinking, oh, I have to have everything. But I think it would work without it, because the whole point is that you're extracting the psilocybin out with the lemon. And it's supposed to, and it works best with real lemon juice, like not that like cheap shit you get.
So then you're just taking a shot of lemon juice?
Essentially, yeah, and lemon juice isn't even that bad because you're just squeezing the lemon juice. What it is you grind up the mushrooms into like really as well ground as you can get it, I would think. And so then you get that into your cup, you squeeze the lemon juice on top, and you get just enough lemon juice to cover it. You don't want too much. And then you just stir that every 5 minutes until it's been like 20 to 25 minutes. And you can literally see the lemon juice get darker. Like you can see the color change. And then after that, you can either drink it like that, or you can filter it and put it in a tea, so you can literally have the tea still, but now it's just got a like tinge of lemon juice flavor. And you don't even taste the mushrooms anymore. Like, it's almost like you're not even consuming them. folks at home, do not use this on your friends. This is not a way to pull a trick on your friends.
Yeah, and they're like, listeners are like, man, like we got $35 to fuck around with Bob. You know what I mean? I need that money. That's my mushrooms. That's for me.
By the way, you never touched your tea when you walked in.
Yeah, you noticed.
But yeah, so I just feel like that might work. I would suggest it if you haven't tried it, but it might just be the same exact thing. You might just be destined to never. You might be a gel guy. That might be you. You might be a gel man.
It may be, and it's been a while since I've done LSD as well. So it's just kind of more like, I guess
it's been a long time since I've done LSD.
Yeah,
like a long time. It's different. It is different. Fundamentally different.
It's definitely way different. Yeah.
So it's been how long? Like 10 years?
Maybe a tiny bit more. Yeah, maybe a tiny bit more.
I think for me, it's at like 7 years. It's like 7 or 8, because that was really what I jumped into, and then I discovered everything else. But that was what I had access to, and so that's what I took LSD way too far, and I remember those days, because it is different. I think of it like it's like. LSD is like if you're in a rocket ship and you have access to all the buttons, whereas mushrooms is like you're strapped to the outside with like duct tape and you just can't move. That's like the difference to me.
Okay. That's
like mushrooms. LSD always would make my skin tingle. Mushrooms never has done that to me, but LSD, like you can feel your skin.
Yeah.
Do you experience that?
I think the one thing that I noticed more was just more visuals from LSD.
Me too.
I would just have a far more vivid visual experience.
Me too. Yeah, I agree with that. Because mushrooms to me has always been this like maybe hazy, like did I see it, did I not thing. Whereas I can remember being on acid thinking, whoa. Did you ever take like crazy doses? I had friends who would take like 5-6 tabs, which to me was always
that's insane.
crazy.
I don't know why anyone. I don't want to be that mentally insane.
I don't. Yeah.
I just don't want to be
even
that.
Temporarily.
No, I just don't. Doesn't sound good to me.
I mean, like with mushrooms, when you say big dose, what's like the biggest dose?
For me, it still would only be like a full 3.5 grams.
Oh, so really? You've never went beyond that?
No, because really never. Yeah, I would always just eat little bits, and then I steeped that full 3.5 into a tea, and I was like, I'm good. I think the last time I did it was not terribly long ago, maybe 6 years, and it was in honey. It was like in the.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
We got to get you back on track.
I mean, honestly, I'm not against it. It's nothing. I just feel like it would have to be a reason.
Yeah,
there would have to be some reason for it. Wouldn't just be like, I'm bored today.
Yeah, you're right. Well, I mean, like people even have those retreats now that they go to and all that. Like, I think that's kind of like. I think it is a reason, but it's also like probably for some people even an excuse. Like, oh, I'm going on an ayahuasca retreat. Like it becomes a good enough reason.
I mean, a good enough reason for me is like, hey, we're going to camp. We're going in the woods and we're going to eat mushrooms. I'm like, that sounds fun.
That does sound fun. Like just a group of friends. Like, because like I've had people suggest like maybe go to a festival, but even then, like so many strangers.
Yeah,
people got cameras at festivals all over now. Like it's not like being at a festival 20 years ago.
Yeah,
like it's like being at a festival where a dude might walk up and try to interview me.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm so high right now.
That's why he's interviewing.
I'm so high I might say yes.
That could be fun too, but yeah, no, I agree. At this point.
I'd rather be alone with friends in the woods.
Yeah. The last time I did LSD, I was at a festival, but it was like a tiny little festival in the southwest suburbs somewhere. Like Mr. Blotto was headlining. I don't really follow Mr. Blotto, but that's the only reason I know of him. I was at this thing. They had
techno. It sounds like techno music.
I think it was more like jam bandy kind of like Wookie Foot or whatever those guys are. I'm saying words. They're words. Do I understand them? No. But
everybody knows Wookie Foot.
Yeah, everyone knows Wookie Foot. So they had this little taco stand that they would bring to the festivals, and that's where they worked at that. And they gave me some LSD that night. It was an experience. Tripping my ass off. How do you
turn it down if somebody's just handing it to you?
Tripping my ass off. No, you definitely ate it. But it was, I don't know, man. It was good, but it was also like just a lot of people around. as you said, it's you kind of are having a personal experience, but now you have to intersect with all these different folks. I do like tripping with others, but usually it's like a good friend or somebody that I feel like we can actually go on like some kind of journey with together.
Yeah.
Not just like.
And you want to like even time it at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just like we're gonna do this thing as an experience together. That's fine. But
because for me, I feel like I just think it's an intimate experience, and for me to. I'm the type of person, if I have anyone else around me, I'm so hyper conscious of that to where I can't even do the same things I would normally do if someone were here. Like now I'm just naturally going to entertain the fact that you're here. I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to like work around you. I'm going to like think, oh, what are they do? Maybe we should do what they want to do. Like I'm going to think all these things I would never think if you weren't here.
Right.
And so I'm almost in my mind, I'm like protecting myself from that because that's what always is happening when you have people around. You're always like micromanaging all this stuff in your head. And I think like that's the last thing I want to do if I'm super high. It's like, oh, what does so-and-so think over there? What does so-and-so think over there? So that's like, and if I'm really high, that's exactly what I'm going to be thinking about. I'm going to be like all in my head, like, oh, what's going on? I'd probably just want to go for a walk like by myself. That's probably would be my defense mechanism. I'd be like, hey guys, I'm going to go outside.
You know what's funny? Because I'm an extrovert, but I'm also like when I'm throwing a party, sometimes I like to just be really busy, so I don't have to sit and talk to just like. I always have somewhere to go. I'm like, hi, what's up? Let's talk. Blah 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 blah. Right. Oh, I got to go do something. Now I'm running off.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of how. So I kind of see that too. For if I was like tripping, what would I want? Next time, what would I want? I don't know. I think still to be around people, but like a chosen few.
Like a committee.
Yeah, this is who we're choosing.
That's the move. I mean, if I were to trip around people, that'd be it. Because for me, ideally, it's by myself. But if I were to like pick a group of people. I could definitely think of a few people that I'd want. Like, and if it was like a setting like the woods, like camping, that'd be fucking awesome. That'd be cool. Everybody goes out, has a tent. I mean, maybe ideally it's better. My apartment's better. Just because, like, I think with tripping, you want to remove as many unknown variables as possible.
And you're comfortable here. Like, this is a comfortable space for you.
So, the only other, maybe if it was like, camping, but someone else set it up or someone else is responsible.
Yeah. Not your site.
Yeah, not my
Somebody's
campsite.
worried about what you need. You're not worried about what they need.
Exactly, because I'm thinking about that. That would probably be an issue. Like everybody's like, hey, where's the water? And I can't talk anymore. I'm lost.
Oh, my God. If you could eat mushrooms in your apartment with any historical figure, who would it be?
That's a tough... Terrence McKenna would probably be
yeah, there you go.
Wouldn't that be crazy?
That would
mushrooms
be
with that guy.
Crazy.
It's the shit he would say. Like alone, sober. Like just being sober around him would be nuts. But to trip with him would be like, I'd just be like waiting for him to talk. Like sitting just watching him waiting. Because I know he'd have ideas. That's probably something, in my mind, that's the type of person you'd want. As somebody with just a bunch of ideas that would probably just like go. Maybe like Quentin Tarantino would be a fun one too, like a fun movie director or something.
He'd be like, take your shoes off. I'm like, not now, Quentin.
No,
stop it.
Quentin, stop.
Stop it, Quentin.
Stop it,
It's
Quentin.
not feet time.
You
Quentin.
asked me like 10 times.
What about, I wasn't sure. I didn't have an answer. And then he started saying some with ideas like maybe Einstein.
That's a good one.
Tripping with Einstein.
That's a good one.
Could be fun.
That's a good one. Steve Jobs is similar to Einstein too, where at least I know he's tripped before. I don't know how Einstein would react. I wonder, like, would Einstein react well? Because Einstein might be so smart that he might like have a bad trip. He might be too smart.
Was Hawking smart before he was in the chair? Or
no, Stephen Hawking would be wild.
I want to talk to him before he went to Epstein's Island, by the way, just to clarify for the viewers. I don't want to talk post Epstein Island.
I wonder if like him
Hawking.
on Epstein Island is like Epstein like forcing him to do stuff and him typing no, please stop.
Like,
I mean, he has plausible deniability.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, there's a record of what he said and what he did.
And he couldn't move.
Yeah, he couldn't.
He literally
they were moving him around.
It's actually kind of messed up.
They trafficked him.
In a way. Because I mean, that's what I always think with Stephen Hawking being on Epstein Island. I'm like, well, how does that even work? Like, if he goes to a strip club, like if Stephen Hawking goes into a strip club, what? Like, it's who wheeled him in's fault for everything he sees.
Oh, for sure.
He can only type things. Like of course, if he's like typing, "Hey, let's go to the strip club,"
go to Zanzibar,
and like, "Hey, throw her a 20," like that's different. But if he's just sitting in the strip club observing, it's kind of like when an Amish person like gets on the train but doesn't drive the train. I think they're still breaking the rules.
No, he is.
So I just wonder the logistics of like any of that. Like, how does that work with Stephen Hawking? Like, because I've heard like things like he did have a sexual life, but like how does he have a sexual life? I mean, of course he has urges, but how?
I mean, I think if he could feel his forehead, you could put a booty on that. Just, you know what I mean? Just a lot of, like what the rappers do in the music videos. I don't know if you ever seen the belts on their heads. On the butts. And
again, it would be like a girl doing that, and then him typing, "Yes, please." Like, keep going.
Honestly,
the booty
like,
commences.
The thoughts that came into my head, I almost said them out loud, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'm not going to say those horrible things. What he might be typing to these poor women. It's terrible. That's another reason why we're in such a terrible world. Stephen Hawking. This was the guy, one of the most brilliant people of our time, and he figured out like stuff about black holes and about outer space through observation and thought.
Yeah.
And then he dedicated to his life that proving that God didn't exist.
Yeah.
That was his whole thing after a while. He's like, physics or whatever. I'm going to prove to y'all that God isn't real. I'm like, no shit, God isn't real, bro.
Well, you know what's weird, though, is that Einstein did the opposite. Like, Einstein always felt like he was proving God through math, which is like, it's just odd that he went the complete other way. And the fact that I think, like, because I think, in a way, people become religious about being anti-religious.
Oh, for sure.
And so that's kind of what he was doing. He was like making such a point out of it that it becomes its own thing, you know? Like, if your whole thing is proving God's not real, you must really care that God's not real.
Yeah.
Like, you've created a religion out of nothing.
Out of nothing. Well,
yeah.
God put him in that chair, so I understand.
Yeah, maybe he's envious.
Yeah,
he's
God
mad.
is real. God's a real piece of shit.
But I mean, like Einstein, it's always, I can't remember what the quote was, but I always thought it was so cool. Because just that idea that like through math, you're revealing like how the universe is interconnected, and through science and math, you're proving all that. Like maybe.
Now there's weird sequences and fractal geometry and the Fibonacci sequence and the golden spiral and all this crazy shit that happens naturally in our world that we could explain with these numbers.
Yeah.
So I do see that.
And it's just the fact that things like that things are so coincidental. I mean, like you could chalk it all up to chance and the fact that it is that way, or you could say that it's something weirder than that. And either way, it's like it is faith either way. You're either having faith that it's all chance, or you're having faith that it's a God. Like, I think it's interesting that people who are so, like, you would expect to be atheists, like someone like an Einstein, are not atheists. It just always so confuses me. Like when I hear of like a huge scientist that's like super smart that has done all these things, and then I hear like they believe in God.
Yeah.
Because I'm not even like anti-God. I just think like, whoa, like they believed in God? Like Einstein thought God was real?
It seems so illogical, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't seem logical at all.
Exactly, logical. It just doesn't line up with what my version of logic is, my logical reality. Yeah.
I mean, I'm a bit spiritual, but organized religion, there's no way, man.
Well, I think that's what Einstein was saying, was something of a more spiritual essence. And I think that like people simplify religion, and when you speak about religion, people think of it as organized religion, and really it's so much bigger than that, and it's more about the tenets of every religion than it is about the people who ruin it for everybody else, because every religion's got its terrible qualities, you know, like everyone, like I mean, Christianity, we got popes, and we got
Church of Satan's pretty cool. They're doing all right.
Honestly though, like even them, you like look into what they're talking about, and you're like, okay, I guess I could take a couple things from you guys. You guys are pretty metal.
They're pretty metal.
You guys would throw a good concert for sure. Like your concerts would be sick. But I mean, like, I just feel like every religion gets co-opted by, again, money. Like, money being the root of all evil. You often see that. Money and, like, power, like, those things become the center of a religion that really shouldn't be that. And, like, if you just read the text of the religion, it's not that. And also religions are, like, way outdated, and they say crazy things. But the morals, the core morals of religions tend to be, like, a basic humanity of, like, hey, let's all get along. Hey, let's all not kill each other. Like, hey, let's try to have a civilized society. Like, that tends to be what religion is trying to do.
Guide rails for people because we are terrible by our nature.
Yes, guide rails, rules. And I think, like, that's what Nietzsche was saying when Nietzsche comes along and says God is dead. He's saying we've basically stepped past religion now, and we're entering this period of, like, no religion. And like I said before, that becomes its own religion. And now God is dead, so people are, like, filling this void. And you just have crazy people everywhere. Because I think people really do think that there's nothingness. Like, I think people are not spiritual. And like, not having any spiritual anything in them makes them think nihilistically and, like, nothing matters. And if nothing matters, then everything is purposeless and you can do anything. And that's a depressing reality. And I would rather fool myself into thinking that things happen for some sort of reason. I'd rather even just lie. That's a lie. You know? Like, as much as I think it's a downward spiral, I think it's a spiral for a reason. I think the spiral is happening for a reason, you know? Every crazy thing that happens, I'm like, well, you know, we're still on, like, teetering on the edge, and that's a miracle. It's a beautiful little miracle. I woke up this morning and everything happened for a reason. I
love it. Is that 26-year-old optimism?
I remember. It'll fade. It'll fade.
Well, I mean, it'll fade unless you suffocate first, because there's no oxygen on the planet anymore. We've destroyed it.
What I've learned is it's my mom and me, because my dad is not that way at all. Like, my mom thinks the way I just described, and my dad was, like, the exact opposite. So I've learned I'm more like my mom, but maybe I'll turn out more like my dad.
I like it. I think there's a place for it. I'm glad you're optimistic, because can you imagine if everyone wasn't? Jesus.
I just think it's the only way you get out of hell. Like, it's the only way you change anything is if you at least think it might be possible.
That's step one. You're right. Step one. Because if you're out of hope, because to me, it's like, maybe I'm not super positive, like everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
But I'm like, things are going to happen as they should if I work.
Like, that's good.
Yeah,
I like that, because I mean, it's still, you know what that nice about that, it still puts accountability on you.
If I sit here, it's not going to happen, and bad things will wash over me. If I work hard and try to build a better life and try to bring up the people around me, things will be better. And you know, you were talking about it before about, like, you know, your purpose is to shine light. And when I think about, for myself, stand-up comedy.
Right.
I did always imagine way back in the day when I was going to do my little therapy show that I was going to say things that were meaningful, and we were going to be introspective, and we were going to laugh, but we were going to think.
It would be bigger than comedy.
Yeah, and then now I tell, like, jokes about condoms and stuff, and it's not that. It's not that.
Right.
But it's okay, because I look at it like positive energy, laughing, joy. To me, it's like doing the wave at a baseball game. It's like one person, it's two people, now more people are getting up, and all of a sudden now it's bigger than who started it. It's this ripple, and it's coming around and around and around.
Right.
And it's more fun than the fucking baseball game. Honestly, I don't really like baseball, but the wave, that is how I feel about positive energy and what I'm doing in that room. We all laugh, we all have fun, they leave, they touch people in their lives around them, they feel good. But the negativity spreads the same way.
Right.
So we have to be careful.
Right. And I think that that's, like, why I like to think that, like, every moment lives on into forever. And so, like, every choice you make is that. It's like that wave. And you don't see it, but it is that. And so, like, that's why you just do the right thing. That's the only reason you should do the right thing, is because it does make a difference whether you see it or you don't see it, you know? And so I think, like, thinking that way is the only way, again, to, like, make an actual change. It's like, you know, by having a positive show that you put together, and by the intent being that this will go well, and just thinking that way to begin with, that's how it happens. And then that intention is placed into reality, that plays out, and then all those people carry that, and like you said, into their lives. And that thing it's now a positive difference that has existed solely because of you. And like the more you can do that, the better it is. And like being conscious about that and seeing the difference in reality, because I think it's easier to not do that. It's easier to just live your life and not think about the difference you're making. Like it's like the same thing as like if you're smoking a cigarette and you toss the butt to the side. That's the easier thing to do than to go find the trash can and put it in the trash can. But and you're never gonna know the difference of throwing it to the side. But if you think about it and you're conscious of it, who the fuck's gonna pick that cigarette butt up? Probably no one, and it's gonna sit there forever. And that's a difference that you made, but it's so easy to ignore it. And that's just like a tiny little example of that. And it's every single day, every choice you make ever.
For real. A bird's going to grab that butt, bring it to the nest. The little sparrow's going to have cancer. It's going to be terrible. You know,
yes, exactly. But you can easily go, oh, well, someone else is going to do the same thing. Someone else would have thrown a cigarette butt if I wouldn't have thrown a cigarette butt. So.
And it's hard to stay positive in a world where you don't feel like it's coming back. It's hard to keep putting out that good vibes. Sometimes you just get mired in it and you're like, what does it matter? Everything sucks, everything's terrible.
Well, because like you said, the negativity is infectious
and then you start to put that out, but now you're just adding more to I just say just keep putting the good shit out as much as you can.
Because I think people really do respond to it even when you don't see it. You because like I said to you, I think that's my purpose. I think it's what I want to do. And so like sometimes I'll think like, oh man, like I wonder if I'm even like making a difference. And then somebody will say something that'll like make you realize, oh, like there's a natural outgrowth of my influence that I don't even see. Like they'll say like because people see your posts, they don't like them. So it'll be like some comic I've never met before that I run into at a mic, and they're like, oh, I've seen all your stuff, da da da. And it makes me realize, oh, like people do see this, even if I don't see that they see this. And it's little things like that where you don't even know what you're doing when you're doing it, and you can think you know, but you never know, and you really don't. And that's what's so great about doing something that's really like including people and trying to build something bigger than yourself, is that it is bigger than yourself, and you can't even actually understand what it is, you know. I mean, that's the coolest part, is when you hear people's feedback that you never would expect. That's like the things you literally couldn't even make up. You'd have to hear them say it, because it's like you never would have, it wouldn't have happened unless you did the thing that you would have done either way, and then they saw it, you know. So
yeah, and I really do believe that there is this like collective unconscious that we all share, this like just general feeling, and maybe it isn't like anything you could actually tap into, but it's out there. We're all connected in a way. We're all impacting each other.
I think we spiritually understand creativity for sure. Like I think when we see people do things that are creative or inclusive, or you know, like they expansive, like when people see things that are big and create and like actually thoughtful, it just registers in your mind, because I think we all want to be creative and we all want to create. There's something about that, and I think that's a big part of it. Like I think comedy, music, any art form is spiritual in the sense that there is that identifier that you have if you're experiencing it and you love it. Like it's a release, and I think it's that creativity. It's that feeling of like turning nothing into something that is the essential like nature of reality. That's what we're always doing. You're creating whether you like it or not. And so I think like seeing someone harness that and turn it into something, there's just something fundamentally human about it, you know?
Yeah.
And
creating like music or thinking of something funny and laughing to yourself, it's just so much better when it's shared.
Yeah, when it's shared, yeah. For sure, when it's shared. And I think that, again, like comedy being unique, that is unique to comedy, is you really can like share it, unlike anything else. Because music is just kind of passes you by, a movie kind of passes you by, but comedy is really like you're hitting those beats and you're making people laugh in a shared moment. Like when you want to share that moment. You want it to, if it's not shared, that's bad.
That is bad.
Like if they all feel like they walk out of that and then, what are we doing here?
Yeah, exactly.
You want them to think, wow, like we were all here together feeling. I mean, I guess that would even apply to, I guess, a movie or a concert. You could go that far just to say, a shared experience, but yeah, comedy it's just the I think laughing with people is complete. Like if you took someone to a comedy show like a friend, I think you bond in a way that's different.
Yeah,
like especially if they don't laugh, you're like, oh, we're not good friends. Yeah, you didn't think that was funny?
And they're like, you did? And they're like,
yeah.
I guess we're not cool.
I think I did have that happen to me once. I can't remember. I did have that happen to me once. That was fun.
I guess we got different senses of humor.
I mean, I should ask you before we do wrap this up. I mean, you said you do 4 shows.
Yeah.
So what are those shows? Like, what are the details of those shows?
Yeah. So I have a weekly show at Butch McGuires. It's Mondays at 9 p.m.
Okay.
That's Jokes on Division. Next week is our last show, so that'll be the 17th, I believe. I think I have that date correct. Then we go on hiatus till next year, till January. Okay. But then it'll run weekly again till Thanksgiving, so we do that every year. It's a weekly one, Jokes on Division, Butch McGuires. I also run Comedy Fuck Fest, which is the fuck show I mentioned earlier when I got here.
Let them fuck.
Let the kids fuck. Comedy Fuck Fest is the monthly at the Lincoln Lodge. We do 6-minute stand-up, 4-minute Q&A about your sex life. And we want the comics to be honest and vulnerable, and that's the funniest parts. That's what we clip up and put online. I run Uncensored Comedy, another great show, Saturday, 10 p.m. at Lincoln Lodge monthly with my good friends Shane Anthony and Daniel Larson. I should have mentioned Jokes on Division, V.A. Bennett, Comedy Fuckfest, Rachel Marsh, John Diaz, just great people. So Uncensored Comedy, another great show. And then I am the production manager at Red Room Comedy Club. A great club. Our team is amazing. Follow us on Instagram. And
I didn't even know you worked that closely with Red Room. I had no idea.
Yeah. You know what? I was there as the production manager, and we were doing a lot of stand-up clips. So I was there twice a month. I'd feature. I'd do a guest, and then I'd film, and everyone would get their sets for free, and we'd post it online. But we weren't getting the views, and we pivoted. Our like Gen Z marketing girls and bartenders. We're just doing TikToks now off of audio trends. It's doing way better. Go figure. We've got some that are borderline, like, we're like, is this okay that we do this? So when those come out, man.
And they're like, trust us.
Yeah.
I mean, that's even like a meme now. It's like such and such corporation gets Gen X person to run their social media.
Yeah, like a Gen Z or Gen Alpha. Like a
Gen Z, yeah.
Just the young...
Just because I guess they do understand social media better than us old farts.
Yeah,
I feel like I don't even get it at this point. I need someone younger than me.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah,
you know?
And I thought I got it. I'm Unk now. I've become Unk. I do not like this.
I am extremely old.
I can only imagine how you feel. Yeah.
43, dude. I'm like geriatric at this point. But I'm not gonna have any kids, and I'm just gonna keep staying in the pocket, not getting too drunk or too stoned. I'll be fine.
Yeah, you got this.
I got it.
How long have you been at Red Room for?
This will be my maybe a year and a half now, or going on 2 years.
Because it's not that old of a venue, so.
No, it hasn't. I think we just had our 4-year anniversary. So I've been there like half of it.
Half of it.
Yeah, second half.
That's like it's like it's a baby, and you saw it start to walk.
Yeah.
You saw it start to say words. You witnessed a lot of fundamental moments in its life cycle,
Yeah.
I feel like.
I wasn't there early on, though, when it shit on itself a lot.
You missed that
part. I missed that part, which is okay with me. But.
Yeah, I think I would rather take the baby at 2 if it was up to me.
Same.
Skip those first diaper shitting on yourself periods.
Just incredible team there. I love them.
Yeah.
And I would have shit too. I'm not blaming them. I promise you that. I promise you.
Any 1-year-old shits themselves, for the record.
It's a natural part of
every
older.
1-year-old shits themselves. That's a fundamental fact of life, boys and girls. You were one once. You shat yourself once. That's another T-shirt. You shat yourself once.
Yeah.
At least one, because I think that is true. Show me somebody who never shat themselves, and I want like proof. Like, they
proof.
Physically can't or something. Like there's got to be a reason.
There has to be.
Like they've always had a tube. That's the only. Like and I don't even think they qualify. You know what? In the comments, that's your challenge, folks. Today, Comment if you can find anybody who's never shat themselves once, or at least like do research and get back to me.
Yeah.
That's good. It's a good call to action.
It's a good call to action. Yeah. You got to give them something to do. So the social media.
That's what you're supposed to do with social media.
It is. Call to action.
Give them something to do.
Right.
I've tried to make it like tie up with the content, so I thought that worked pretty well.
I think there's some countries where they don't wear diapers. Maybe there, because then they just let it. Does that count? Like if I had no pants on, I walked around no pants, no underwear, and I took. Did I shat myself or did I not?
Well, that's a good point. Because like if everyone's doing it, is it shitting yourself?
In the comment, call to action. We need the answers from you, the audience. It's the only way we're going to solve this.
Let us know. Like what, to shit yourself or not to shit yourself? That is the question.
That is the question.
I've been wondering about this for a long time. Well, man, all right. I think it's been a fantastic episode. I mean,
great.
I think we've covered all kinds of things. Is there anything you wanted to make sure to talk about? Is there anything we're missing?
I think we got it all. You know,
Nailed
honestly,
it.
we talked about like God. We talked about psychedelics. We talked about comedy.
Yeah.
We talked about, you know, emotion, and then shitting yourself.
We cover everything on this show.
Everything.
I like to think that like I do run a, like sometimes I'll think back like, what did we talk about? Everything. We really did.
Yeah.
Because like that's a good sign, you know. It's a good sign. It's a good sign when you're 10 minutes into a conversation and you look over and you're like 10 minutes and I'm talking to this guy about like whether or not Jesus Christ did or did not exist, and also like, you know, like I just think like there's signs of a good conversation, and I think saying too many things is a good one.
Yeah.
Is I guess what I'm saying. Like
Yeah,
it's probably
I'm with it.
better. Like if you feel like you talk about the same thing for an hour and a half, that's a really bad sign. I think it's a bad conversation. Usually that's bad. Like I don't even know how people do that.
No, for
like if
real.
I were to bring you in here and I were to make you talk about the same thing for an hour and a half, I feel like that'd be really hard.
Yeah, I
Like
think.
how would we not get off topic?
No, we would immediately. But luckily, I don't have enough expertise on any one thing to
Me
talk for that
neither.
long about what.
I will bring someone in with expertise and talk to them about the exact opposite thing.
Something else.
Like I am bad at this.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Okay, well, we did everything. That's good. At the end of the show, we try to give a message to the children. So the kids that are listening to this, specifically the kids that are on the school bus, they got their headphones in and they've listened to this whole thing. They know that we're wise adults
Yes.
with smart information. We have a lot of life experience, and we're going to give them a nugget of knowledge for them to take home, an actionable piece of wisdom for them to use inside of their life to look forward to as the future rolls on, comes into their world. As they get off the school bus, they enter the future.
Yes.
They're going to use this knowledge that you give them. And second, the social media is where they can find you. They listen to you for this long. They might as well go spend a little bit more time with you on the social medias.
Love it.
The floor is yours, sir.
So this is my advice for anyone 13 years old or 13 years old or older. Okay, if you're doing well in school, go ahead, drugs and alcohol and sex. Go ahead, but don't let it impact your school. If you're not doing well in school, don't do those things. Study until you are good in school. Then drugs and alcohol
And same cycle.
And
like
sex,
if,
yeah.
if it creates a boomerang where you start being bad at school, you're gonna have to start
gotta go back to
ground
studying.
zero.
So
Yep.
so do drugs if you're doing well.
Only if you're doing well though.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's not.
No, you got to study.
Yeah. And because honestly, like that's how you become a good adult. Because the dilemma never goes away.
No, you always have to balance that. I want to do drugs and drink, but then I have these adult responsibilities where I got to go to work and eat and shit, and I can't go to work high, so don't go to school high unless you're good at it, and then do it.
Yeah.
And
Because
then
there's a
you're
lot
fine.
of adults who never got that.
No.
And we're telling you, and most people won't tell you.
Yeah, we're telling you now, kids, drugs and alcohol are okay if you can handle it.
Just be realistic.
Yeah, just be cool, be chill,
Like think about what you're doing, but also get good grades.
but get good grades. Yeah,
yeah.
that's for the kids.
That's good advice.
And then don't have kids. Also, stop it.
Kids don't have kids.
Kids don't have kids.
Please, dear God.
Yeah. And if you want to talk to me more about that, I'm Insta Dan Garcia on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. Don't follow me on Facebook because all those people that type stuff on there are insane and they have the worst ideas. So Insta Dan Garcia on Instagram.
No YouTube, no.
Not right now. I did have you could find Unlikely Friends comedy sketches still on YouTube. but we no longer work together, and it is not a thing. But it was fun while it lasted. If you want to go see God on the porch telling me that I should have used a condom, go to YouTube.
Isn't that what you want to see?
If that's what you want to see. Stoop Jesus.
All right, man. Well, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for being here. Always good things happening. I like how you... not only do you have a great message for the children, but you even told them if they want to hear more about that to contact you directly on social media. That's really good stuff, dude. Go do drugs and also message me if you need to know more.
Yeah, if you want to know more.
Really good stuff. All right, and I think that's all, folks, here on Ruse Radio. Clocking out. Double down, competition couldn't help him to rock. Missed the whole time, holy fell through the flock. That's an ordinary miracle, wealth to the block. It's a balance in the character that's calm and collect. It's apparent his caricature is lost in the mess. It's hysterical, the picture that they put to his face. It's a confidence administered to earn their respect. Live a little lighter, can't